why we have the nucleus of a real fine ball club on the New York Mets.
The 0-2 pitch. He's struck him out.
The New York Mets' success certainly has been a great team effort.
In the air, deep right center field. Way back. It's out of here. Out of here.
It's gone goodbye.
And it is a fly ball. It'll be tough to get to.
Diving. Holmgren makes the catch. What a play. Unbelievable. Takes for third. He's got an RBI triple. And the Mets have tied the game at 4.
Why, they're the most amazing fans that I've ever seen in baseball.
Possibly saved 5 runs in this game.
The payoff pitch on the way. Strike 3. It has happened.
The ball game. Look at the New York Mets. Look at the fans. It's absolute bedlam.
At Citi Field in New York, the New York Mets play the Washington Nationals. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you can save. By the State Farm agent of the game, Pat Cawley of Glendale, New York. Contact Pat at patcawley.com. By Nissan. Get to Nissan's bottom line model year-end sales event and save on the last of our 2019s. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Citi, preferred card of the New York Mets. Well, the 7 train's going to be packed this weekend. There's lots of reasons to come out to Citi Field. The Mets are a hot ball club, and now the important games begin. Oh, and by the way, the flowers are blooming. The kids are here, and it's time for a homecoming. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Citi Field. Gary Cohen, Darling, Keith Hernandez with you tonight. It's an exciting night in the ballpark, and we're fortunate to be out among the fans as the Mets open a 3-game weekend series against the Nationals. Both these teams have been left for dead. The last time the Nationals were here in May, the Mets swept them 4. The Nats fell 12 games under 500. Then they went on a 30-11 stretch. As for the Mets, less than 4 weeks ago, they were 11 games under 500, but they've won 13 of their last 14. And so we get to this point, and the young Met players get the biggest games of their career.
Absolutely. Everybody has it. It's hopefully in their career, and we're talking about McNeil, Alonso, Rosario, and Davis. They've never been here before. Ron, you were here once. I was here once. It's always the veterans that have to be the calming influence here and take the lead, and these youngsters will be very curious to see how they perform, but this is what it's all about. This is great fun ahead.
Mets have some local reinforcements. Joe Panik signed today. Hopewell Junction product. He'll be in the lineup at second base. Brad Brock signed yesterday as a free agent. He's from Freehold, New Jersey. He'll be in the bullpen tonight. The other local kid, Marcus Stroman, finally gets to pitch his first game at Citi Field.
Hey guys, our house was blaring from the speakers. It's Marcus Stroman's house tonight. This ballpark is in his backyard, and if you give him a mulligan for that first start in Pittsburgh, this is his opportunity. He's pitched in some big games. His opportunity, though, in the home whites for his ball club against the big rival with the Washington Nationals. It's on tonight for Stroman and the Mets.
Unlike Marcus, Steven Strasburg has pitched here before, and he's pitched really well here.
Well, yeah, Strasburg is 8-1 here. His ERA is minuscule. He's having one of the best years of his career. He's looking for his 15th win.
So it's the Mets and Nats speaking in a big series. Nats are sitting in the front of the wild card standings. The Mets just a half game behind. Mets and Nats, Marcus Stroman on the mound. All the action coming your way on SNY. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by M&M's Chocolate Candies. M&M's Hazelnut is a permanent addition to the iconic M&M's lineup. And you can head to stores now to go hazelnutty for M&M's Hazelnut Spread. Last chance to celebrate Marcus Stroman's homecoming by going 7 for 7. Enjoy $7 Promenade outfield tickets for tomorrow's game against the Nationals. Act now by visiting Mets.com/Stroman. Join Verizon up to score Mets tickets, concerts, and more rewards you really, really want. It's free to join in the My Verizon app and exclusively for Verizon customers. Marcus Stroman ready to go. Mets and Nats, big weekend series. First pitch is coming right up.
Starting from the bottom, Little City got
been a remarkable stretch for the Mets. 13 of their last 14, their best 14-game stretch since the days of the Buddy Bump in 1990. And now the Mets are trying to build on that as the competition gets tougher in a hurry. Marcus Stroman gets to pitch on the Citi Field mound for the first time, and here's the Hyundai starting line for the Nationals. Trey Turner, the catalyst for everything that happens for Washington. Their turnaround dated to when he got healthy and ready to go. Anthony Rendon having the best year of his career. Juan Soto at age 20, one of the best players in the league. It's a formidable lineup that Stroman will face tonight.
Well, Stroman's just trying to be part of it. As you look at his Toyota numbers, most of it done, of course, in Toronto. But what he's trying to do is just continue what the Mets pitchers have done in the last 24 games, 14-2 with a 2.35 ERA.
And your Lexus Metropolitan defensive infield, you can see Joe Panik, the newly acquired Joe Panik from the Giants, 2016 Gold Glove. That'll be very good to have a good infield behind Stroman, who was a ground ball pitcher. And that's the same outfield out there with Davis, Conforto, and McNeil.
Last time the Nats were here in May, Trey Turner had recently come back from 6 weeks on the injured list with a broken finger. He was just rounding back into form. Mets swept 4 games, knocked the Nats to 12 games under 500. Turner got hot after that. And now he's the first man Marcus Stroman will face from the Citi Field mound. Turner hitting at .287. And Stroman's first pitch of the night, and it's a fastball in for a strike, and we're underway. Turner, Eaton, and Rendon against Stroman, who went 4 1/3 in Pittsburgh in his first start for the Mets last Saturday night. Gave up 3 runs and 7 hits. And it's grounded on the right side. Diving is Alonso. He can't stop it. And Turner has an infield hit to start the night.
Well, we talked a little bit about the over-exuberance of the young players here. And does Panik get to this ball? I think he does. So, Pete, a little over-aggressive there. And, of course, Turner can flat fly. And now you got a big issue with a guy that's got 23 stolen bases on the season.
Adam Eaton will step in. Eaton has been able to stay on the field this year for the Nats. 23 games his first year with the Nats, 95 last year, and he's already played in 109 this year, and that in and of itself is a huge boost for the Nats.
Stroman is as athletic as any of the other pitchers on the Mets team, should be able to mitigate the running game. Turner, too much speed, though.
8 stolen bases against Stroman this year in 14 tries. Eaton takes the fastball up and away for ball 1. And the Nats not only lead the league in stolen bases, but they have a habit of running early and often against the Mets. It'll be interesting to see whether Stroman can put any crimp in that.
Well, the Nationals, it started with Dusty Baker, I think, what, 3-4 years ago. They are going to test the starting pitchers and try to keep them preoccupied.
Turner led the National League in steals last year with 43. He's tied for 3rd in the league this year despite missing a lot of time. And Stroman gets the fastball in for a strike to Eaton, 1-1.
You know, not that Stroman has not faced some of these hitters, but first time through the National League, he should be uber aggressive with that good sinking fastball. Get ahead of these hitters. They're going to want to take a peek at what his stuff is like.
Eaton is one of the 3 Nats hitters in the lineup tonight who has faced Stroman before, 1 for 7 against him. And he lifts this one into shallow center. On comes Conforto, and that's the first out of the night.
I don't know about you guys, but I had a hard time tracking that ball up in the sky.
We are in the M&M suite seats just above the left field fence. So for us, it's a fairly low angle in addition to being an unusual angle looking in.
There it is.
That's what we see. We have a great view of the 28 on the back of J.D. Davis's jersey. Here's Anthony Rendon. It's the 3rd straight year Rendon has had an OPS of 900 and above, but it is his best season by far. His OPS is just under 1,000. 5th in the National League in RBIs with 87, and he's timed it well. This is the last year of his contract. He'll be a free agent at the end of the year.
He's been steady all season for this national team, which lost their star to the Philadelphia Phillies. You're talking about Bryce Harper. A lot was put on this guy's shoulders. Would he be able to withstand it, be the new leader of this team? He's having a great year.
His first time getting a shot at Stroman, and he takes a fastball for a strike, and Stroman throwing all fastballs in the early going.
He is. He's being very aggressive, but I find that Trey Turner not being aggressive is an interesting thing. It's almost like he's trying to figure out Stroman on the mound.
See if he gets a read as this inning goes along. 0-1 to Rendon, and he fouls away the fastball.
Ronnie, this has got to be another unsettling start for Stroman. He's first traded on the road, but this is his first start here. He's from the Long Island. Parents are here more than likely, so it's not a smooth transition for him.
No, you'd like to take your time, kind of getting used to your surroundings, but tough. That's how it goes. Game is on.
I think he's thrilled with this, to be honest. This is a guy who's pitched in postseason games. I don't think the atmosphere is going to be too much for him by any means. 0-2 to Rendon, and he bounces the slider. Good stop by Ramos. A ball and 2 strikes.
Juan Soto in the on-deck circle.
Rendon hitting .362 against the Mets this year with 3 of his 24 home runs. A thorn on the Mets side for a long time. 20 career home runs against Met pitching. And Stroman misses low and away, 2-2. Marcus Stroman, 28 years old, Patchogue Medford High School, Duke University. First round draft pick by the Blue Jays. Traded to the Mets shortly before the deadline for 2 prospects, and now thrust right in the middle of a pennant race. 2-2 coming. Pitch taken low. Turner running. The throw by Ramos too late, and Turner steals the base, his 24th of the year.
So Stroman was quick to the plate. Good release and quick throw by Ramos, and it doesn't matter.
Interesting, you saw Turner take a peek back, and certainly on a 2-2 count, you are not going to have a hit and run. I think so. He wanted to make sure that the ball was put in play. He knew where it was going.
Remember that Turner loves to steal third as well. With 1 out, that's not beyond the realm. As Cohen takes strike 3 call.
Ask for help.
That ball backed up on the inside corner. Did he call that a swing? I don't think so.
Thought he called it a strike.
Cold strike.
It was a little spinning breaking ball that stayed maybe on the inside part. I don't know.
Mark Carlson, the home plate umpire tonight, and Rendon looking incredulous. I don't think they called a swing. I think he called that a call third strike. Yep. And G Pitchcast says
he would be correct.
Was a borderline strike.
He got it.
So there's a big strikeout for Stroman for the second out. Now, Carlson's indication was that it was in the strike zone, not a swing. So now Juan Soto with a runner at second and 2 out. Soto in his sophomore season having another terrific year, up among the National League leaders in walks and on base percentage. He is an incredibly disciplined hitter for a 20-year-old.
He got off to a little bit of a slow start this year. I think that rookie year with Harper gone, a lot of responsibility put on a lot of this team in general offensively, and he has just had a very fine season. 72 walks.
And an EI strike with the sinker. 1-1. Well, remember the Nats had a lot of injuries to their everyday players early in the season. Turner was out, Rendon was out, Zimmerman has been in and out all year. And now that they are almost completely replenished, I think that's helped the younger guys like Soto and Victor Robles. Nats are 6th in the National League in runs scored. almost setting up inside. And Soto takes that one just off the plate.
Wow.
Close pitch, 2-1.
This looked like a better pitch than the slider to me personally.
And Stroman in his first start in Pittsburgh, Ronnie, I don't know if you watched, he really got squeezed by the home plate umpire.
It's like the home plate umpire had never seen a sinking fastball before.
That was Bill Welke last Saturday night in Pittsburgh. 2-1 to Soto with Turner at second and 2 down. And Soto takes a fastball on the inside edge, 2-2.
That's a big pitch for Stroman against a left-hander. He's got to command the inside corner. He can't live on that outside corner with the sinker.
This crowd is ready to explode at every provocation tonight. Two to Soto, and it's fouled away.
Keith, does it ever go, because we're in the outfield, through an outfielder's mind that Turner's on second with 2 outs? Unless a bullet's hit to me, there's absolutely no chance I'm going to throw him out at home. I mean, you always want to hit the cutoff man, but does that thought go through your head as an outfielder? Or?
Well, not being an outfielder, I just think you just go by the basics. You always want to hit the cutoff man if you feel you got a shot.
Again, the 2-2, and just missed with that sinker. Full count.
Well, this is the most enjoyable part for me. A new pitcher, a talented pitcher. What does he feature in a big moment on a 3-2 count?
Stroman is not a big-time strikeout pitcher. He's all about the ground balls. Just about 7 strikeouts per 9 innings this year. Three-two coming, and he got him swinging. Stroman with back-to-back strikeouts of Rendon and Soto to get around first inning trouble. Mets come to bat with no score. Geico Mets starting lineup tonight. Joe Panik slots into the 8th slot after signing with the Mets earlier today following his release from the Giants. Otherwise, it's the same unit that's been going out there every day. By the way, Denny Echeverria was designated for assignment to make room for Panik. Steven Strasburg gets the start for the Nats tonight.
Well, the Land Rover numbers, he's having an incredible year, except when he pitches against the Arizona Diamondbacks. His last start was against the Diamondbacks. He gave up 9. Count them, 9 earned runs.
ERA against the Diamondbacks 13.97, against everybody else 2.69. Well, what's he going to throw on the first pitch to McNeil, who's been swinging at that first offering and generally having great results with it?
Well, everybody knows now.
And he gets a fastball, but he swings through it, 0-1. Strasburg was not giving in.
Threw it right by him. Belt high.
Strasburg's a little different pitcher than the ones he's faced.
Now, Strasburg is not the guy who threw 98 and 99 when he first came up, but he may be a better pitcher now. McNeil fouls away the fastball, and it's 0-2.
Well, another 0-2 count, and this is where McNeil really has the ability to stay in the at-bat. Stands on top of the plate. Uses that thick-handled no-knob bat.
Jeff starts the day hitting .339, leading the major leagues by 1 point over DJ LeMahieu. And the curveball from Strasburg, 1-2, and that's been a major feature for Strasburg this year.
Curveball and changeup usage are up. He's throwing those 2 pitches almost 50% of the time.
30% curveball. Last year, just 19%, so that's a huge jump. Last year was an injury-plagued year for Strasburg. He stayed healthy this year. 1-2 coming to McNeil, and he got him with a curveball for the first out. So Strasburg has a strikeout on the board.
And your Nationals defense presented by Dodge. Dozier, a former Gold Glover, but the vacuum cleaners at shortstop. Trey Turner, quite a talent. What a glove. And out in that outfield, Victor Robles can go get them. And they need a big, powerful, a guy that can cover ground in center field with those 2 corner outfielders.
Now Ahmed Rosario, who was moved up to the 2-hole the last couple of days and stays there for the start of this series. And he takes a fastball for a borderline strike, 0-1.
I like Rosario in the top of the order. He's red hot. He gives a little speed. 14 stolen bases on the year. The Mets don't steal a lot of bases.
Hitting .340 over his last 43 games. And Strasburg comes up and in. It's 0-2.
And it lengthens the Mets lineup. Conforto, everybody slides down one. Conforto in the third hole. I've always wanted Alonso in the cleanup spot. He is a quintessential cleanup hitter.
Sunlight shining on Rosario as he hits the curveball in the air along the right field line. Eaton steadies going toward the line. And that's the second out.
That was interesting. Eaton from our angle, he misread that off the bat too. Came in, had to go back 4 or 5 steps.
Looks like he was sitting in the M&M suite seats.
Everybody's got their little cheat sheets here. Looking at Juan Soto right in front of me here, left fielder. He's got his little like Stratomatic card with all the places where to play these guys.
Yeah, when Alonso comes up, it says play deep.
Yeah, for Michael Conforto too. Michael's hit 7 home runs in his last 11 games, including 2 in the Mets' most recent victory on Wednesday. And he gets a fastball, drives it out our way to left field. Back goes Soto right in front of us to make the catch. Nice job, Juan. He tosses the ball to the fan just to our left. 1-2-3 inning for Strasburg. No score after 1. We go to the second inning. Mets and Nationals no score. First time in the last 8 games that the Mets have not scored in the first inning. Matt Adams leads off in the second against Marcus Stroman. And the fastball into the knees for a strike. 0-1.
Well, home plate umpire Mark Carlson with the low ball umpire giving that low strike. That's a very good thing for Marcus Stroman.
It's almost like there's a halo around the hitter right now with that sunlight reflected off the office windows.
I keep looking for Glenn Close.
Oh, from
what was that movie?
Natural. The Natural.
That was a great scene with the sun setting behind her in that white dress. Purity.
I would think it would have to be a little hard to hit with that sun right on you like that. 0-2 from Stroman, and just misses with that 2-seamer.
Adams was ready to sit down.
Looked like it came back over the plate, but Mark Carlson said no.
Got to be careful of breaking balls on Adams. He's a good breaking ball hitter in the strike zone.
He's also a low ball hitter.
1-2 coming, and he got him looking. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Marcus Stroman, and that's the first down in the second.
That's a little cutter, Keith, on the outside corner.
Oh, Mr. Met's here.
Oh, Mr. Met and the Blue M&M have both arrived.
What do you got for me,
Thank
brother?
you. Oh, well, we got the hazelnut spread M&Ms.
You got big hands, man.
Nice. Nice.
How big are your feet, Mr. Met?
Stop poking me.
Ronnie has the Purells here somewhere.
No, where is it?
The Blue M&M would like to give you some more M&Ms.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. You're so nice.
I've never got that close to an M&M before.
Kurt Suzuki flies one foul.
That big anyway.
I don't like people poking me, man. I mean,
really? You get upset?
I'm not sure I call that a peep.
That's right.
It's a big piece of candy.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming there's someone underneath, but I could be wrong.
You never know. Suzuki have another nice year if you're coming over from Atlanta. And the cutter misses away, a ball and a strike. Did not see him have to take this many deep breaths in Pittsburgh. Clearly he is very amped tonight.
Oh, that's a strike there. That's a nasty sinker.
Well, it depends how far Suzuki stands off the plate.
Suzuki sharing time behind the plate with Yan Gomes. He's started just about half the games. 12 home runs this year. He's become a noted power hitter later in his career. And curveball in for a strike 2 and 2.
Which is a little surprising, Gary, because I think when they signed Yan Gomes, they expected him to be the #1 guy. Suzuki would get spot starts, but Suzuki's been great offensively, and he calls as good a game as as any catcher in the game.
Gomes just hasn't hit right-handers.
2-2 coming, and he struck him out with a slider. 4 straight strikeouts for Marcus Stroman.
Got him, go fish.
Well, sometimes when you have a guy who is a ground ball pitcher but has great stuff like Stroman and you're pumped up for a big game, these strikeouts can happen.
Well, you don't think of Stroman as a strikeout guy, but now he's struck out 4 in a row. 2 out and nobody on. Now Brian Dozier. Dozier 236, 16 home runs in his first year with the Nats. And the first pitch cutter swung and missed, nothing in 1. Dozier just 3 for 36 against Met pitching this year. Wasn't he like 0 for 30 before he finally broke out?
Yes, he was.
That's played the Nats a lot early in the season.
His resurgence has sort of mirrored his team's resurgence.
But again, you have a better lineup around you now after they had all those injuries. Marcus Stroman feeding off the crowd. Didn't get him to chase that slider. 1-2.
So Stroman, because he doesn't have the 97 plus or whatever, he's from the school every pitch moves. Nothing is straight in the strike zone.
Cutters, sinkers, sliders, the occasional changeup. One-two to Dozier. And bounces that slider 2-2. Dozier has more at bats against Stroman than anybody else in the Nats lineup. 13 of them. Dozier was quite the force in the American League. Just 3 years ago, hit 42 home runs for the Minnesota Twins.
So watching these first couple of innings, Ramos will be tested every time he catches Stroman. A lot of balls in the dirt.
Two-two. Got him looking. Marcus Stroman strikes out the side in the second inning. He struck out 5 in a row. Alonso leads up. Home second inning. Pete Alonso leads off against Steven Strasburg. After Strasburg retired the side on just 8 pitches in the first. Pete has homered in 3 consecutive games. Only one Met rookie has ever homered in 4 consecutive games. That was Larry Elliott back in 1963.
They are really giving Pete the left field line. Soto way in the gap.
The grounds went sharply. Turner to his left. Was that Alonso, 1 away. By the way, Larry Elliott in his big league career, 15 home runs.
Not Chris Elliott's dad, right?
No, that would be Bob.
That was pretty interesting, that ground ball from our angle, right? Watching Turner kind of throw it 3/4 and how it had a little bend to go to first base.
There's J.D. Davis. Coming off a big series against the Marlins, went 5 for 10 with 2 doubles and a home run, up to 305 for the year.
And again, the same outfield alignment with Juan Soto. I can notice he's right in front of me, playing way over in left center field, giving the left field line to J.D. Davis. And J.D.'s strength is to the opposite field, the opposite gap, I should say.
And they've got that gap covered with Robles and Eaton. You see a high strike to Davis, and it's 0-2.
See the high target that was given by Suzuki there. Davis likes that ball down. Boy, what a year Davis has had, by the way. Jeez, did we mention that, Gary?
Well, he has been probably the most gracious surprise for this team. And he's only gotten better since he's gotten to play every day. Dom Smith out. 1-2 to Davis with Wilson Ramos on deck. Strasburg now 31 years old. He became the fastest in history to reach 1,500 strikeouts. Did it a few innings faster than Chris Sale. And he's got another milestone in sight tonight. He can become the all-time franchise leader in strikeouts. Started the night 2 behind Steve Rogers, the great Montreal Expos right-hander. Of course, the Expos and Nationals, the same franchise. He's now 1 behind Rogers.
Steve Rogers, who was more like a Marcus Stroman type pitcher, sinker, breaking ball.
No, he was like Don Sutton. He had
really?
He had a great curveball.
I always thought he had a great sinking fastball.
He had a sinking fastball, cutter, and a curve, a nasty hook.
And Davis just gets a piece of the curveball to stay alive. Well, there's the there are the numbers. Scherzer, even though he hadn't been here quite as long, is moving up that list quickly.
That's what happens when you strike out 300 a year.
Well, they're showing that Strasburg's fastball is 96, 95, 94. I can tell from the center field camera that his fastball's electric. It's got life to it.
And Davis chases the changeup. And Strasburg has his second strikeout, and with that ties Steve Rogers for the all-time franchise record.
That's the first time he broke out the changeup, Ronnie.
Yes, it is.
Nasty sink on that.
Throws it to lefties and righties, both as effective.
Well,
and now Strasburg's former battery mate Wilson Ramos, who has had success against Strasburg since they split up, 5 for 12 in his career. And Ramos has been red hot. 12 RBIs in his last 6 games. And lays off the curveball, ball 1.
and again, more so Soto really more in the gap on Ramos, who I would give him the left field line too. He loves that go to that right center field gap, really shading him to the opposite field.
And the curveball bounced on the left side. An easy play for Turner. And that retires the side. 6 up and 6 down for Steven Strasburg. No score after 2. Tomorrow the Mets take on the Nats at 7:10 p.m. The first 15,000 fans at Citi Field will receive a Mets Hawaiian shirt courtesy of Toyota. To purchase tickets, visit Mets.com/tickets. And of course, Russ Welkin, our stage manager, is modeling the Hawaiian shirt tonight. And there he is.
There's only one problem. He can't breathe, he was telling me, but he's enjoying the shirt.
Russ is taking away my FaceTime. Come on, Russ.
Victor Robles batting 8th in the order, leading off to the Nats in the 3rd against Marcus Stroman. And he grounds the first one. A great stop by Frazier. Does he have a chance to throw him out? He does not. No, Frazier saved a double with that sprawling grab. But it's an infield hit for Robles to lead off the 3rd.
Well, Frazier's a solid glove at 3rd here. This is nothing but trouble. Beautiful play, and with the speed of Robles, the veteran realizes no chance.
Well, if it gets past him, it's 2 bases.
And he had to play in because of the threat of Robles and the bunt.
So that snaps a streak of 5 consecutive strikeouts for Marcus Stroman. First time in his career he's ever struck out 5 in a row. Now he's got the pitcher Strasburg up there. He's a good hitter, but he's showing bunt. And the runner goes. The throw by Ramos, and he's out! Ramos guns down Robles.
What the hell? I don't know what Robles is thinking. It's a sacrifice situation. Throws right there.
Marcus Stroman applauding his catcher, who made a perfect throw right to the glove of Rosario, and the rest was easy. So 1 out and nobody on. A 1 strikeout to Strasburg.
Well, if the Nationals are going to be this aggressive, then look for this the entire series. They are going to try to take any extra base they can.
Well, Turner stole a base in the 1st inning. Robles, who has 17 steals this year, caught for the 7th time.
And Strasburg is a good hitting pitcher.
Yes, he is.
4 home runs in his career, including 1 this year.
7 RBI, Gary.
Stroman misses with that sinker. Looking into Mark Carlson, thought he should have gotten the call.
He's asking if the pitch is down. The umpire said yes, it is. Strasburg is a big man.
Third 3-ball count for Stroman. First time through the batting order. 3-2. Trey Turner waiting on deck.
You don't need a sign here. 3-2, no one on. Here comes the sinker.
That's what Ramos calls for. And that's what Strasburg strikes out on. 6 strikeouts first time through the batting order, just one shy of Marcus Stroman's season high. So already off to a much better start than he was in his first Mets outing when he gave up a couple of first inning runs. He really saved himself with that unbelievable defensive play that he made on the Kevin Newman ground ball. Otherwise that first inning could have been much rougher. Now Turner, who had an infield hit and stole a base in the first. Foul, nothing in one.
You know, the reason I said you don't need a sign there, 3-2, nobody on, because Gary Carter in his day would not give you a sign. Just let's go. Throw the ball over the plate.
Gene Tennis did the same thing.
Is there any pitcher that you would throw a breaking ball to in that spot?
Well, I mean, maybe Madison Bumgarner.
Mike Hampton back in his heyday, maybe. Bob Gibson.
I think that if you're a pitcher and you're facing a pitcher and there's no one on and you don't feel confident enough to throw your fastball, might have to look for a new line of work.
I guess that's fair. It's a nice looking slider, and it's 1-2 to Turner. Everything down from Stroman. Like the days of the K corner. One, two. Struck him out. 7 strikeouts in the first 3 innings for Marcus Stroman in his Citi Field debut. That matches his season high. No score in the third. Go to the bottom of the third. That's our view from the M&M Suite seats. Todd Frazier will lead off. We're watching Juan Soto move over toward the left field line, checking his card. Okay, he's positioned. Frazier, 2 for 11 in the Miami series. And he takes a first pitch fastball for a strike from Steven Strasburg, who's retired his first 6 hitters on only 18 pitches. He's got Frazier, then Joe Panik for his first Mets at bat on deck. And then Marcus Stroman. And the curveball drops in for a strike, 0-2. So you got Frazier from Toms River, Panik from Hopewell Junction, Stroman from Medford consecutively in the batting order. Mets are like a homegrown team / hometown team now. 0-2 coming, and he chases the changeup for strike 3. So Strasburg has his 3rd strikeout. Let's go back to Marcus Stroman and his strikeout of Trey Turner.
Well, he threw the same pitch twice in a row. That good tight slider.
Well, he is certainly enjoying his first stint on this mound. 7 strikeouts in the first 3 innings. Now Joe Panik was signed today and right into the lineup for the Mets. And he takes a fastball out of the strike zone. Panik was not having a great year, hitting .235 for the Giants. He was an all-star in 2015. The last couple of seasons, though, he has tailed off offensively.
First 2 seasons hit .300. That would be in 14 and 15, and then ever since it's been a gradual decline.
Still a Gold Glove caliber fielder, won a Gold Glove in 2016. And so the Mets felt as though he was an upgrade, particularly the left-handed bat, which they've needed. Robinson, Cano, and Dom Smith out of the lineup for the long term.
He said once he found out the Mets were interested, it was a no-brainer.
He played at this stadium before anybody else on this field today. He was with St. John's when they played the first game here against Georgetown in March of 2019. He had 2 hits and 2 RBIs in that game.
Got the rosy cheeks.
He was a shortstop that day with the Red Storm. And there is Panic tracking a pop-up.
Nice.
Well, sorry, Joe. Got you on a 4-3 in the scorecard there.
There he is, number 2 that day and number 2 today. And he takes curveball in the dirt, 3-2. Panic played 643 games for the Giants, who made him a first-round draft pick out of St. John's in 2011. That's looking for their first base runner of the night. Stroman on deck. First 3-ball count for Strasburg. And he threw him a curveball, and it's fly down the left field line. Soto over toward the foul line to make the catch in fair territory. And that's the second out. So 8 up and 8 down for Strasburg. And now Stroman. Marcus has had only 19 major league at bats, 3 for 19.
How do you look in Pittsburgh in his at bats?
He's still a little overmatched.
Still learning.
Yeah, struck out both at bats against Chris Archer, his good friend. Of course, he did hit that home run against Steven Matz when they were 8 years old. And Strasburg throws one by.
He hasn't got a bad swing.
So where he's from, is that Suffolk County or Nassau County?
Suffolk.
Okay.
Medford's not all that far from where Matz grew up in Stony Brook. And the curveball, fly ball, center field, and Robles is right there. And that retires the side. 3 perfect innings for Strasburg. We've got a pitcher's duel going. No score after 3. Some great Met outfielders from over the years. Cleon Jones, Rusty Staub, Wookie, Darryl Strawberry, whose jersey Marcus Stroman was wearing into the clubhouse today. Carlos Beltran. That outfield has not been exactly what they expected this year, but it has been extremely productive. That's our perspective from the M&M suite seats right behind J.D. Davis. We go to the 4th inning, no score. Adam Eaton leads off against Marcus Stroman. Fly to center his first time up. One of the few fair balls hit against Stroman so far tonight. Marcus has matched his season high with 7 strikeouts and has done it on just 43 pitches in the first 3 innings. So you might say he's a tad pumped for this game. Rendon and Soto to follow behind Eaton in the 4th. And that 2-seamer in for a strike, and it's 1-1. We check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
You know, Adam Eaton is one of the rare guys on this Nationals team who's faced Stroman a few times, and he said what makes Stroman so good is that he legitimately never gives in. If you're 3-0 against Stroman, you know that count is going to be 3-2. Said there's very few guys in the major leagues who never give in like that. Eaton actually compared him to Max Scherzer just in terms of his compete level, and said it's something that you can very noticeably feel when you're in the box against Stroman.
Well, up, first time he's been up to a batter in this early in this game.
His 4th 3-ball count of the night. And Eaton pulls it through the hole into left field, into right field for a base hit. And so Eaton has the Nats' 3rd hit of the night and the first that has reached the outfield.
Well, it got a count in his favor. Another pitch up. So we'll keep an eye on that right here. That's a little above the belt. Good level swing by Eaton, who's got 10 stolen bases, only been caught 3 times.
Well, the Nats have signaled early that they're going to run at every opportunity. Turner stole a base. Robles was caught stealing. Here's Rendon, who was caught looking on a backup slider his first time up. And he takes the slider down for ball one.
You know, Gary Eaton has good speed, but he doesn't have the speed he once had. He's suffered through a couple of horrible injuries.
Both of them suffered against the Mets.
Yeah.
Rendon overmatched on the fastball, and it's 1-1.
Rendon trying to shoot that hole, Keith, to the right side.
Well, he uses the entire field. He is one of the best hitters in the game, a very good clutch hitter.
Not a guy you can shift against. Slider down, it's 2-1. Statcast AI powered by Amazon Web Services. Rendon started the night 4th in the league in on-base percentage, 4th in the league in slugging. And he taps one foul. 2-2.
I've been watching the middle infielders, and I found this interesting. If I'm right, I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm not. But it seems as though Joe Panic is giving the signs to Rosario. Who to cover, who not to cover. First day.
More experience.
I will keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
2-2 coming. And he got inside on him, and he popped it up foul. Let him go out of play. Well, we mentioned in the open, digging deep, presented by New York 811. Both these teams were left for dead. The Nats, after they left here in May, they were 19-31. Since then, they're 20 games over 500. The Mets, just 4 weeks ago, first game out of the break, they were 11 under 500, and they've gone 19-5 since. So both these teams have been resurrected like the Phoenix. 2-2. And Rendon fouls it at the plate. Nationals sitting on top of the wild card standings, 2 games ahead of Milwaukee, and the Mets just a half game behind the second wild card spot. The Mets were behind 10 teams, 10 at the All-Star break. They've passed or caught all but 2. It's rather amazing, isn't it?
The Agatha Christie novel, 10 Little Indians.
7th pitch of the at bat from Stroman to Rendon. Missed with the slider, 3-2.
Well, that's what happens when you have a lot of around middling 500 teams, is that if you get on a roll like the Mets have gotten on, you can pass people.
Will they run Eaton here 3-2? I say they do. And they don't.
And Rendon flies one deep to right center. Back in the gap, Conforto and McNeil, and they can't get it, and they collide. Around third, Eaton, he'll come in to score, and all the way to third goes Rendon, and the Nationals have struck first. Rendon finding the gap perfectly, just beyond the reach of both Conforto and McNeil on the warning track. He'll get credit for a triple. And the Nats have a 1-0 lead.
And there's Rendon again in the middle of things. Just such good power to the opposite field. This ball had a lot of air time, and it short hops the wall. And very fortunate no one got hurt there.
And I thought at first that McNeil had kicked Conforto in the face, but he must have just missed him.
He need him. He got him good.
Wow. Nice to see Michael get up and be okay. Remember, he suffered a concussion earlier this year on a collision with Robinson Cano.
Infield back for the Mets. Only Frazier at the corner is in.
You see the mark on his neck.
Yeah, he got scraped.
Well, nice to see the 2 of them get up so quickly. Rendon's 3rd triple, his 88th run batted into the year. That's conceding a run on a ground ball with Soto at the plate. And Soto drives one deep right field. Forget it. That ball is way out of here. Juan Soto crashes a long 2-run homer, and the Nationals have a 3-0 lead. 22 home runs for Soto, matching his total from his rookie year. And so the Nationals striking quickly. Rendon an RBI triple, Soto a 2-run homer, And the Nationals lead 3-0.
Well, it's interesting, Keith. You said right from the start that Stroman was up with his pitches this inning.
And here it is. They want it up here. Well, it wasn't. Yeah, that was just a hanging cutter. A little flip of the bat there from Soto. I mean, everybody's going to be up for this game. Both sides, both teams. They're fired up for this series.
So now Matt Adams, and he hits it sharply up the middle, and that's a base hit. So 4 straight hits for the Nationals against Marcus Stroman to start this 4th inning.
There hasn't been a softball hit. They've been hit 4 rockets this inning. It's like the second time through the order here. The Nationals have taken a measure of Marcus Stroman. That ball had way too much plate.
And Stroman went through them like a knife through butter first time around. A season high, matching 7 strikeouts through the first 10 batters, but this 4th inning a completely different story, and Phil Regan out to talk to him.
You know, Gary, we were talking before, first time through the order, Stroman to be uber aggressive, get ahead of these national hitters, but certainly that changes second and third time through the order. Adams jumped all over that first pitch.
Wonder also, Ronnie, you come out as aggressively as Stroman did, and really striking out people in a way that was out of character. You wonder whether maybe he spent all that adrenaline early.
Like the air went out of the balloon, right? That's just, as Keith said, just a cutter that stayed down and in.
And he crashed it. 22 home runs, 74 RBIs now for Soto. And now Kurt Suzuki with Adams at first and still nobody out. Now you start to ask questions about how these two managers are going to handle this series, right? Got 47 games to go. This series is obviously of great importance, but how great? In other words, do you use your bullpen the way you would in the last week of the season in a postseason game? Ground ball to third, chance for 2. Frazier to Panic and on to first, double play, 2-man down. Well, that'll help Stroman's cause. 5-4-3 double play erases Adams. 2 out and nobody on.
Well, we were all talking before the game today that, you know, I really think that the Mets offense has been awfully strong, but you have to manage it, in my opinion, in a way that you can't get your team behind by too many runs. So I think you manage it like you have to win this first game.
There's Brian Dozier, who took a call third strike his first time up. Takes a strike. Well, there's another way of looking at it too. You know, with Scherzer unavailable in this series because he's still down with the rhomboid issue. Strasburg's their best pitcher. He's going tonight.
Yeah.
The Mets have their 2 best pitchers going the next 2 nights.
Correct.
I definitely get that. I just don't think that DeGrom is one of the best pitchers in the league against Sanchez, but Corbin is awfully good.
Yes, he is.
Tomorrow night.
He's no slouch.
Syndergaard's been on quite a roll, though. Grounded down to the left side, grabbed by Rosario in the hole, and he throws out Dozier, and that retires the side. But that strike first. Soto with the big blast, a 2-run homer, 3-0 Washington. That's down 3-0 as they come to bat against Steven Strasburg in the home 4th. Strasburg perfect through 3. Now the Expos Nationals franchise all-time strikeout leader. Struck out Jeff McNeil to lead off the first inning, and misses with a first pitch curveball for ball 1.
Interesting. Now remember, McNeil batting average to lead off a game, but also it's every at bat. He's a first ball swinger and not a first ball fastball, anything in the strike zone.
He's put 80 pitches into play on the first pitch this year. He's hitting .412 in those 80 at bats with 10 home runs. This is between innings. Michael Conforto coming in after that collision with Jeff McNeil, and Brian Chiclo, the head athletic trainer, saying, "You okay?"
Yeah, you all right? And what happened?
What happened?
What happened? Were you inside, Brian?
He certainly appeared to be just fine after that dust up with McNeil. But you certainly hold your breath here.
Looked like he took a shin and then maybe even got scraped with the spike at the end.
He got
of
a
the play.
knee right here. Ooh. And then that foot came and scraped his throat.
I'll tell you what, it's fortunate that he was able to get up so quickly. Good change up by Strasburg, 2-2. And again, you're talking about a guy who suffered a concussion in a collision earlier this season. He's along the right field line with Robinson Cano, giving a forearm shiver.
First at bat, power fastball, McNeil. Secondary pitches this at bat, second time around, full count.
Back-to-back change-ups to run the count full.
Maybe 3-2 curveball here, Keith.
You got to be careful with the curveball because the curveball breaks down into McNeil's zone. If you're going to throw the curveball, you got to make sure you get it on the outside corner.
I think he's going to have to go another change.
3-2. Comes with the curveball and it's fouled off.
And there's that Richie Hebner swing of McNeil's right there. Stays in the at bat. This is what he excels at, and that's why he is on top of the heap coming into this game, hitting .339.
3 for 6 against Strasburg. Coming into the night now 3 for 7. Rosario on deck, and then Conforto for the Mets in the fourth.
Really playing McNeil to the opposite field in the outfield.
Again, the 3-2. And he laid off the changeup, ball 4.
Good at bat.
That's their first base runner of the night, a leadoff walk to McNeil. Steven Strasburg making his 13th start at Citi Field, and he has had enormous success here, much more against the Mets here than in Washington, where the Mets have had some better games against him.
Think about all the numbers that national pitchers or ex-national pitchers have at this ballpark. Strasburg, Scherzer, and Gio Gonzalez.
So Strasburg will have to work from the stretch for the first time. McNeil at first. Rosario at the plate. Flied out to right field his first time up. And he runs that two-seamer in on, and that's another feature for Strasburg this year.
He was really mostly four-seamers, curveball, changeup, occasional cutter he had for a couple of years, but it didn't make his shoulder feel great. So now he's gone to the 2- and 4-seam fastball.
He had shoulder problems last year that cost him time. That's slapped down the right side. It's a fair ball grabbed by Adams and takes it to the bag to get the out as McNeil gets the second.
Boy, oh boy, Adams got to get the lead runner there. At least give it a look. Adams not known for his glove. Gosh, you always want to keep that runner out of scoring position if you can. And so here comes the power part of the lineup, the 3-4, 25 home runs with Conforto and 37 with Alonso. That'll get a pitcher's attention.
Yes.
Michael hit one to the warning track in left field that Soto caught his first time up.
Guys, we've been talking about how much better Conforto's been since he moved in front of Pete Alonso in the lineup. Conforto said it's these situations specifically where pitchers pitch him far differently. A runner on second base and first base open. In the past, they would pitch around him, but now they're coming after him, not wanting to put him on first with Alonso behind him.
That's called protection.
As a pitcher, do you consciously work differently to a guy if he has the big bat behind him in this situation?
100%. I mean, what happens is that you've got to somehow keep ducks off the pond with Alonso coming up. Now, that being said, third place hitters are third place hitters. They're awfully good hitters also. So what you do is that when you are behind, you're not able to just bounce a pitch in there. You've got to throw. You can use a secondary pitch, but it's got to be a strike.
2-1 to Conforto. And the fastball popped up shallow on the left side. And right near the bag is Rendon to grab it.
I know where you're having a problem, because I am too. I think left field's right field and right field's left field. The left side of the infield's the right side of the infield.
Well, it's a very different perspective for us, so we're kind of getting used to it.
Stay with us.
Well, it's mostly being this low. We're just not used to being this low, and then looking in as opposed to looking out.
We're looking in. The right side is third base. And it's up behind home plate. It's the left side. It's a little hard to get your arms around it.
So now Alonso, watch out, Keith, you might have one in your lap. Grounded out to short his first time up. And takes the curveball off the plate for ball one.
This is an inning that Strasburg knows he has to work hard here, right through the meat of this Met order.
McNeil at second with 2 out. Mets looking for their first hit of the night against Strasburg.
And Pete laces one deep left, going over our heads. It's out of here. Number 38 for Pete Alonso, a 2-run shot to get the Mets back within a run. Pete Alonso homers for a 4th straight game, just the 2nd Met rookie ever to do that. And there was no doubt about this one.
Well, I tell you what, the changeup in my mind is not a good pitch to throw Pete Alonso, because he stays in. He keeps that shoulder in. Look at that front shoulder. Boy, he'd go down and get that.
And this place is loud.
Just changed.
That was the first Met hit of the night, and it was a big one.
I can't describe to you how fast that ball got out of the ballpark. It just sailed over our head.
A little Bash Brothers action there with Pete and JD.
Worked in '87.
Forearm shiver.
Now Strasburg behind on Davis 2-0. That Mets home run means City will donate enough for No Kid Hungry to provide 20,000 meals to kids in need. Well, he missed your lap, Keith, but he came close.
I saw it. I knew I didn't have a chance.
JD struck out his first time up. And the curveball bends in for a strike. Well, that's quite an answer, right? After Stroman was tagged for 3 runs in the top of the inning. Alonso, biggest game he's played to date in his career. A big home run to get the Mets right back in.
Answers right away. That's what Keith was talking about before the game with the young players.
And now Strasburg behind on Davis 3-1.
So we're being told it took 4 seconds from the time it struck the bat until it landed.
That's fast. That's real fast.
Whoa.
Last Met to homer in 4 straight games was Curtis Granderson 3 years ago, and now Alonso has homered in 4 straight. 3-1 coming, and Davis flies one deep to right.
Back goes Eaton, back near the wall. It's out of here. J.D. Davis ties the game with an opposite field home run. Thunder in the city. Alonso and Davis go back to back, and it's 3-3.
Keith, did that go upper tank?
Upper tank. Boy, what a year he's having.
Woo. Number 13 for Davis, and the Mets are all even. And now Wilson Ramos. He takes the changeup low and in.
Belt high fastball. I guess I was wrong. I thought he got under it. I guess not.
Ball carried well, got into the Coca-Cola corner, and just like that, the Mets, for the 7th time this year, have back-to-back home runs. Alonso and Davis doing the honors.
JD's batting average and slugging on fastballs is going up and up with every day.
It's the loudest this place has been since the postseason in 2015. 3-0 to Wilson Ramos.
This isn't, they didn't do this against a 5th starter here. This is one of the premier pitchers in the league, given a 3-run advantage and couldn't hold it.
And was perfect first time through the order, but now he's been hit hard.
Leadoff walks are always. He just got a fastball right there and went right with it. That's what he does so well.
(3-1) coming to Ramos, and he walked him. So the inning continues. Second walk of the inning for Strasburg. It doesn't walk many, just 2.2 walks per 9 innings.
Interesting slider there. Yes, the pitching coach is going to have to come out.
Paul Menhart, who took over as pitching coach early this year when Derek Lilliquist was let go when the Nats were having their big struggles.
So 2 pair for Strasburg, a couple of walks and a couple of bombs.
Well, Strasburg, coming off his worst start of the year against Arizona, looked locked in over the first 3 innings. Well, things changed quickly when McNeil worked him for a walk. He retired the next 2, but then Alonso and Davis with the back-to-back homers, and Strasburg, looking a little wary pitching to Ramos, walked him.
And if you're Stroman on the bench, you're like, oh, is this how it's going to be? Okay.
Well, the Met lineup is deep.
Yes.
And that's all there is to it. You got your work cut out for you.
Oh, that looks like a wrestling move. Off the top turnbuckle.
Oh, that better not be the suplex.
So now Frazier. Strasburg's thrown 25 pitches already in this inning. And Todd gets a curveball and pops it up into shallow right. Dozier going out to get it, and that retires the side. But big swings of the bat from Alonso and Davis, back-to-back homers, and the Mets get even. It's 3-3 after 4. Nationals played 13 times in April and May. Marcus Stroman fields the comebacker from Victor Robles. 1 pitch and 1 out of the 5th. That's won 8 of the 13. And that's some of what happened in those earlier meetings. The Nationals bullpen was dreadful, and that had a lot to do with the Mets winning those 8 of 13. They've shored up that bullpen somewhat. The Mets have done the same. And now meeting for the first time in 3 months, and both teams making a lot of noise in the 4th inning.
It's going to be interesting to see what pitcher rebounds after each giving up a 3 spot, each hit hard, extremely hard. Who rebounds?
Strasburg chases the slider, and it's 0-2. He struck out his first time up.
Well, the Nationals said take that, and the Mets said, yeah, take that.
Soto a 2-run homer for the Nats. Alonso and Davis back-to-back for the Mets. Strasburg just gets a piece to stay alive. Stroman got out of further trouble in the 4th inning by generating a double play grinder. That's his specialty. Spectrum high-speed pitch. That's more Strasburg's specialty. And And Strasburg takes just off the plate. 1-2. Trey Turner waiting on deck. And Strasburg taps one back to Stroman. 2 batters, 2 comebackers, 2 outs. Well, we're outdoors, and when we're outdoors, that usually means food delivery. We have Emmy Squared, the pizza, the Emmy with ranch mozzarella, banana peppers, red onion, and side sauce, and Little Sweet Chick. We have their chicken and waffles. Oh, Keith's already halfway through his.
Well, it's not Roscoe's from La Brea and Pico in L.A., but it looks awfully good.
I don't understand the waffles. It's nighttime.
Some of us have to wait for between innings before we start consuming.
Don't talk so much, Gary.
Trey Turner's 1 for 2. And he takes a fastball for a strike. Turner had an infield hit, stole the base in the first inning. He struck out in the third.
Step behind the mound, regroup. You know, as a pitcher, that when Turner is in the box, if he gets on the bases, he gets in scoring position. A wink of an eye.
A walk's a double, basically. And Stroman misses outside 2-1. Mets and Nats battling for wild card spots. The Nats 5.5 games behind the Braves. The Mets 8 games behind. The Braves are in Miami tonight, where they lost last night. And a half swing. Did he go? He went around. 2-2. Trip Gibson with the call at first. Two coming. And slider away. 3-2. Adam Eaton would be next. And Turner takes outside ball 4. So he's on with a 2-out walk. First walk of the night given up by Stroman.
Good at bat by Trey Turner.
Not the guy you want to walk. And now Eaton comes up. He got the whole thing started for the Nats in the 4th inning by pulling a base hit into right field.
On a
Scored on Rendon's triple.
3-1 count. Got the count in his favor.
So Stroman's pitch count starting to build. 76 pitches with 2 out in the 5th.
That's the second time now Stroman has used the hold the ball as long as he can. To kind of, the runner will end up with feeling like he's in cement at first base.
Just trying to get him flat-footed. Turner stole his 24th base of the year in the 1st inning. Ball 1 to Eaton. Mets starters have been going deep into games. 7 innings plus in 8 of the last 14 games. Stroman's not really that guy. He's more of a 6-inning guy. They're not going to push him to as high pitch counts as they might with some of the other Mets starters. 1-1 to Eaton.
But what's interesting on the flip side, if he ever did pitch to contact, he'd be the kind of guy that would have low pitch counts, or should. But he's had a lot of strikeouts today.
Third time around the batting order for Stroman. And a throw over. Last year, Turner led the league with 43 stolen bases. Ramos threw out Victor Robles in the 3rd inning. Eaton pulls that one, and it goes into right field for a base hit. Turner pulls in at second, and so Eaton with back-to-back base hits his last 2 at bats, both pulled into right field.
So
with 2 out and 2 on, Anthony Rendon will come to the plate.
So the 1-2 hitters so far have been on base 4 times in 6 at-bats and set the stage for their big bomber, Anthony Rendon. Oh boy, he almost lost his balance there coming out of the box.
That was a huge moment for Stroman. Tie game, 5th inning. Rendon hit a long triple to right center, driving the first run of this game. And he swings at the first pitch and fouls it down the right field side.
Rendon's got a very fast bat. And it's kind of a quirky swing. He takes it back kind of. He's not real fluid. He just take back and he jerks on the ball. It just snaps on it. Holds his hands very low.
He's got a quick bat in the way that I always thought that Paul Molitor had a quick bat. Like he can watch the ball a second longer than most.
So how do you counteract that?
You can never pitch him the same sequence. You have to change it up each and every time he comes to bat. Never repeat a 2-1 pitch. Keep him guessing. I think the thing with Rendon, sorry guys, is that not only has he got great hands, maybe awkward swing, but he's got great hands. He uses the whole field. He's an extremely intelligent hitter. You know it just by watching him day in and day out.
Two and 1 to Rendon. He got a pitch to hit and fouled it back. 2-2.
Big crowd.
Big and loud. Two out, 2 on, 2-2 to Rendon.
He's got such a good eye. I mean, that is a tough pitch to lay off right there. When you've got a fast bat, you are able to track the ball a little bit deeper. That's why he's one of the premier hitters.
So Turner and Eaton will be in motion with 3 and 2 and 2 out. And Rendon fouls one off the right side.
You got a pitch to hit there.
Stroman facing the best hitter in the lineup in a tie game in the 5th inning. Turner and Eaton get set to run again. And
Rendon goes down swinging. Side retired. Stroman throws a fastball by him, a season high 8 strikeouts for Stroman to keep it tied.
Home 5th inning in a 3-3 game. Joe Panik is second at bat. Flied out to left field in his first at bat as a Met. Steven Strasburg perfect for the first 3, not perfect in the 4th. And Panik slices one foul. 0-2. 5th inning recap presented by Aetna Better Health of New Jersey. Each team got great pitching the first 3 innings. Each team exploded in the 4th. Soto a 2-run homer for the Nats. Alonso and Davis back-to-back to tie it for the Mets. Change up down, 1-2 to Panik. Marcus Stroman on deck, and then Jeff McNeil. Panik grew up in Hopewell Junction up in Dutchess County. Went to John Jay High School, which is in the hamlet of Hopewell Junction in the town of East Fishkill.
Okay.
But you knew,
all right.
But you knew that.
Yes.
Can you find it?
Yeah, 2 lefts and a right, Keith.
James up off the plate, 2-2. He still lives there in the offseason, so this is a true homecoming for Joe Panik. Mets now have a fifth there for their roster from the New York metropolitan area, with the addition of Panic and Stroman and Brad Brock, who is here and in uniform and available in the bullpen tonight. 2-2. Fouls that one away.
You know, that's common for maybe Texas teams or California teams or Florida teams, Atlanta,
yeah.
But certainly not in New York.
Doesn't happen very often.
No,
that's for sure. So with Frazier and Matz, Stroman, Panic, and Brock, that's 5 guys from the vicinity. Two, and he got him with the curveball. Strikeout number 4 for Steven Strasburg. 1 down in the home 5th.
Well, it's a big time breaking ball, not a strike. Ronnie, I noticed that 2 pitches ago, Strasburg, after he threw the pitch, kind of wiggled his entire arm. What does that mean?
No, he does that all the time. Every pitcher has kind of their own little picadillos that they have. He has one where he will kind of shrug his shoulders, shake out his arm a little bit. You know, if you don't know him, you think maybe he's got an injury, but no, it's just loosening up or staying loose. I know when he first started pitching for the Nationals, I used to always think, boy, maybe he's hurt, and it wasn't. It's just how he reacts.
Last year he had shoulder and neck issues that limited him to 22 starts. He's already made more starts than that this year. Looking for his 15th win of the season tonight. Stroman fouls one off the right side. 1-2.
You know, Gary, when he came back from that cervical neck sprain, he came back and he has gone 18-5 with a 3.48 and 30 starts since then.
Well, he had won 7 straight starts before the Diamondbacks beat him up his last time out last Saturday. He let that curveball up to Stroman and he fouls it off.
Well, if you're going to hang one, you're going to hang it to the pitcher. Don't hang it to the big boys.
Ronald Acuna has just homered for the Braves. They lead the Marlins 4-0 in the 5th. After Dallas Keuchel got beat up by Miami last night.
Go figure, huh?
Ryan Anderson had a couple of home runs. Marlins won 9-2. Eliezer Hernandez 6 scoreless innings. Never know. And Stroman chases the breaking ball, and Strasburg has back-to-back strikeouts to start the 5th inning. Mets baseball is always live with MLB at Bat. Follow the action with game tracking and video highlights, along with up-to-the-moment stats, standings, breaking news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
Well. The league's leading hitter steps up to the plate. First at bat, struck out, went right after McNeil with fastball, struck him out with the curve. Second time around, he walked him. All secondary pitches. So let's see what he features here the 3rd time around.
First pitch swinging. McNeil grounds one on the right side. Nice pickup by Dozier. And that retires the side. Strasburg gets the Mets 1-2-3 in the 5th. On to the 6th we go, tied at 3.
Boy.
We go to the 6th inning. Mets and Nats tied 3-3. Marcus Stroman will get 4, 5, and 6 in the Washington batting order. Juan Soto, who crashed a 2-run homer his last time up, leads off for Washington. And Stroman gets it in for a strike, 0-1. Soto, Adams, and Suzuki for the Nationals in the 6th after Stroman got out of trouble in the 5th, striking out Rendon with 2 men on. He sails that one up and away, a ball and a strike. Stroman's already struck out 8, a new season high. His career high in strikeouts is 13, but had not struck out more than 7 in a game this season before tonight. And Soto goes after the 2-seamer, 1-2. Stroman's velocity is backed up just a little bit as we work through the middle inning.
We should get more movement on the fastball, especially on that sinker. Notice this time, Gary, with Soto hit the home run on the fastball, on the ball in. Cutter stayed away from him this at bat.
Ramos wants it up this time, but it comes low and in, and it's drilled down the right field line, and that ball is into the corner for an extra base hit. Soto on his way to second, and he pulls in standing with a leadoff double. So Juan Soto with his second extra base hit of the night, as Stroman missed his location badly, and Soto pulled it right down the line.
Yes, he did. They wanted it up and away, and he got it down and in or half. Look at Soto throw the bat up in the air. Did you notice that, Gary?
Well, he had quite the bat flip on the home run.
Well, that ball just missed on you. Watch him flip the bat here. Oh, he didn't. Okay, my mistake. I must. And here's the pitch right here, and just did not get it where he wanted. And Soto couldn't hit. Let me tell you.
7 hits now off Stroman. Let's get Robert Gsellman up in the bullpen. Go ahead run at second with nobody out. Matt Adams, the batter. He singled hard up the middle his last time up.
No, he's got to get something to pull here.
Here's City probables for the remainder of the series. Tomorrow night we're on Pix 11. Noah Syndergaard has been on quite the roll up against the lefty Patrick Corbin. And then Sunday, Jacob deGrom also rolling against Anibal Sanchez. There's Gsellman, first man up in the Mets bullpen. Stroman at 91 pitches for the night. And Adams grounds that one on the right side. Past Alonso, deflects it out into right field. And Soto stops at third. He could have easily scored, I think.
Reliant too much on his third base coach.
Well, the Mets might have caught a break there, because once Alonso deflected that ball, it looked as though Soto could have scored.
Well, this is a repeat of the first play of the game off the bat of Turner. Pete going in the hole here and just ticks the glove, and you see Panic was right there to make the play, and Pete just really getting aggressive going in the hole. Now here's the turn here. Watch top of your screen right there.
And Adams grounds that one on the right side. Past Alonso, deflects it out into right field.
You got to be a little, well, a little bit more animated if you're a third base coach.
So now first and third and nobody out, and the Nats poised to regain the lead with Kurt Suzuki at the plate, and Ramos backhands that one. Ball one.
We talk about the base runners having to know where the infielders are. When you're an infielder, you have to know where your infielders are. If it's in the shift and soft to your right, you let it go.
That's how the infield back up the middle. They'll concede a run to try and turn a double play. Suzuki grounded into one his last time up. And now Stroman behind him 2-0 and digging the hole a little bit deeper.
Good pitch to hit right here.
It's going to be Marcus's last batter. You got Brian Dozier on deck, and Gsellman ready to go in the bullpen. Soto faking down the line from third. And Suzuki fouls off the slider, 2-1. It's an interesting swing there. 2-0 slider.
Well, the one thing about Suzuki is that he doesn't have tremendous power, but he is a good hitter. When he knows 2-0 count, he's sitting dead red. That's why he looked bad on the slider, and that's why Stroman countered with that pitch.
He's going to throw it 2-0. He's going to throw it 2-1.
And he grounds one. Grabbed by Frazier. He's coming home with it, and now they have Soto in the rundown. And Frazier makes one more throw, and Alonso puts on the tag, but the runners get to second and third. Interesting decision. The Mets were set up to try and turn the double play, but Frazier opted to go home with it, got the first out of the inning, but it took so long in the rundown that Adams got to third and Suzuki to second.
Well, I think it's the proper play by Todd right here. Now, beautiful job by Soto here. Just too many throws here, and that's the reason why the 2 runners advance.
One other thing, great pickup by Ramos on that first throw.
Yes,
Frazier.
exactly.
Yes. Otherwise, that could have been a disaster.
So that's 5-2.
5-3.
5-3.
Yeah, 5-2, 5-3. So now second and third and one out. Now how do you play it? You got Dozier at the plate, Robles on deck.
You got Rosario halfway. You got the middle infielders halfway.
Dozier's 0 for 2 tonight, a strikeout and a ground out. And a first pitch slider swung and missed, 0-1. Watch the play by Ramos here.
This is not an easy. Oh boy, he blocked it nicely.
That ball bounces by. 1 run scores and maybe a second. And Dozier rips one, caught by Rosario. 2 men down. An absolute seed off the bat of Dozier, and Rosario was equal to it. And now there are 2 out in the inning.
Oh, that was a rocket.
Well, wherever they were defensively positioned, it was perfect.
If he had been all the way in, that ball's over his head.
That's right.
And now the Mets will intentionally walk Robles. Stroman thrilled at that grab. And now what do you do if you're the Nats? You got Strasburg coming up.
Hit him. Hit him. Doesn't have a lot of high pitch count, and he earns this at bat because of his hitting this year.
He's good hitting pitcher, 7 RBIs, and he's pitching a good ball game.
So Mickey Callaway had to walk Robles in that spot to at least force Davey Martinez into a decision. So Strasburg bats with the bases loaded and 2 out. He has struck out and hit a comebacker tonight, 0 for 2. 7 RBIs for the season. Tie game, 6th inning. And the breaking ball in for a strike, 0-1.
Can Stroman take advantage of National League ball?
Nats at 1st and 3rd and nobody out. They had 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. And now Stroman with a chance to get through the inning. About to throw his 100th pitch of the night. And Strasburg swings and misses at the slider. 0-2. Too high. Nothing but sliders for Strasburg to look at so far.
Don't have to overthrow it. Do exactly what he did on the first 2 pitches. Down and off the plate. He'll swing.
1-2 coming. And time asked for very late.
Late for the pitcher to call time. Come on. Never seen that. Ever.
Strasburg said timeout.
It is a late call.
Stroman was already in his motion. Now the 1-2. Struck him out. Masterful extrication. 9 strikeouts for Stroman. 3-3 in the 6th. All right, thanks very much, Jonas. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Mets and Nats tied 3-3. Marcus Stroman somehow finding his way out of a big jam in the top of the inning, striking out Steven Strasburg to end it.
Well, they got a fortunate line drive. Mom loves it.
Love it.
Well, ultimately, the Nationals paid for Juan Soto's failure to score from second base. On the base hit by Matt Adams, and that enabled Met fans to let out a roar as Stroman found his way through trouble. Mets will have 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order coming up against Strasburg. In the bottom of the 6th, Rosario, Conforto, and Alonso. Strasburg late getting out to the mound after taking the at-bat to end the top of the inning. Rosario is 0 for 2 tonight. He's flied out and grounded out, now hitless in his last 9 at-bats. Gets a first pitch breaking ball and yanks it foul. And right beneath us, Juan Soto way over in left center field against Rosario, giving him the entire left field line. He could hit one of the left field corner and get a triple.
Their outfield shifts have been much more pronounced than the Mets shifts.
I mean, not only is Soto playing over there, but then Strasburg throws him a first pitch curveball, which would have been perfect for him to pull down the line.
You got to be careful. If you throw something off speed, you're pitching against your defensive placements.
Conforto waiting next, and Rosario slashes one down the right side foul. 1-2. And now a quick message from Porsche. Rosario broke his bat on that last swing. Comes back with a new one. Strasburg still at a very low pitch count. Took him just 29 pitches to get through the first 3 innings. Had the rough fourth when he gave up the home runs to Alonso and Davis. And bounces that changeup, and it's 2-2. SNY's Super Slow Motion is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. 2-2 to Rosario, leading off the bottom of the 6th. And Ahmed lays off 3-2. So twice in a row he tried to go to that changeup away, the same pitch that he threw to Alonso that Pete hit out of the ballpark.
I don't know why he likes that changeup so much when he's got such a good hammer against the right-handers.
Strasburg's walked the leadoff hitter once tonight, and Rosario bangs one up the middle, of base hit. So Rosario with a terrific turn at bat. Laid off the 2 changeups, got a fastball to hit, and the Mets have the leadoff man on in the bottom of the 6th.
It's only the 3rd hit for the Mets. 2 of them have been home runs, accounted for all 3 runs. And right on belt high, Rosario up to it.
Snaps an 0 for 9 stretch for Rosario. And so now the Nats must be wary of the running game. Rosario 14 stolen bases. Strasburg's given up 10 this year in 12 tries. Conforto's 0 for 2, flied one to the warning track and left, and then popped up to 3rd. 7 home runs in his last 11 games. First Met to do that since Wilmer Flores. And curveball outside, ball 1. Conforto was involved in that collision out on the warning track with McNeil back in the 4th inning. None the worse for wear from it. He had the mark on his neck, but that appears to have gone away. And Rosario dives back in.
Oh, here's the play that was back in the 4th inning. We were very fortunate that there wasn't some serious damage done to both players.
Knee in the head, kicked in the neck. None the worse for wear. And Strasburg paying a lot of attention to Rosario. Conforto has 2 career home runs against Strasburg, but overall just 4 for 26. Flies this one along the left field line, and that'll go foul. 1-1. Alonso on deck. Davis behind him. Mets were down 3-0 in this game. Alonso and Davis went back-to-back in the 4th to get the Mets even. Marcus Stroman has escaped trouble in each of the last 2 innings, and now the Mets trying to find the lead. And Conforto flies one deep, but foul.
Mike Laga shot, Ronnie.
It was. Almost hit it out of the ballpark.
Justin Wilson begins to loosen the Mets bullpen. Stroman is probably done, I would think, after 6 innings and 102 pitches, particularly with as many stressful pitches as he's had to throw in the last 2 innings. But quite an effort for Stroman in his Citi Field debut. Now the Mets trying to get him a lead. 1-2 coming.
And he takes one the other way. That's down for a base hit. Robles runs it back in as Rosario goes first to third, and the Mets have the table set. Runners at the corners and nobody out.
Again, the changeup. And that's off the plate and not even a full swing, just a little flick of the wrist. And dumps it out into left center field. Rosario with a perfect read. Oh, he was running on the pitch.
Off the plate, but up enough.
Got a little MVP chant going for Pete Alonso, who hit a 2-run homer his last time up. 0-1. Alonso homering for a 4th straight game, just the 2nd Met rookie ever to do that. He now has 38 home runs, 1 shy of the National League rookie record set 2 years ago by Cody Bellinger. Infield back at second and short. They'll concede the go-ahead run.
And he punches one toward the middle, grabbed
by Dozier for the first out. So Strasburg jamming Alonso and getting the soft liner for the first out of the inning.
Well, he came in and came inside on Alonso. Let's see how he attacks Davis, who burned him last time with the home run to the opposite field on a fastball away.
Fell behind JD 3-1 before Davis parked one up in the Coca-Cola corner for his 13th of the year. Nationals bypassed a prime scoring chance in the top of the inning. And Davis takes a strike, 0-1. It's been a mirror image game.
Well, we have 2 teams that have got back into it kind of the same way, right? They were out of it, went on great stretches, and got back in this race. And it'll be the little things in this series that'll make the difference.
And a perfect pitch on the outside corner from Strasburg to get ahead on Davis. 0-2. Wilson Ramos waiting on deck.
Knee high outside corner.
Supposed to be inside.
Oh, down the middle. He must have been looking for a breaker.
Away, still 0-2.
Interesting, Keith. This inning, he's decided to come in on the hands of Alonso and Davis with hard stuff.
Back-to-back base hits by Rosario and Conforto to start the inning. Strasburg's gotten 1 big out, and now ahead on Davis 0-2 with Ramos to follow. Davis fouls it at the plate.
Well, he's really relying on his changeup as a secondary pitch, isn't he, Ron?
He really has. See, the pitches by inning made it look easy the first 3 innings. It's been more of a struggle now.
His former battery mate on deck.
Dave Martinez, the manager of the Nats.
He battled much the way Mickey Callaway was earlier in the year, but things have gone in a completely different direction for both. 0-2 coming, and a good stop by Suzuki with a runner at third. 1-2.
Suzuki's a very athletic catcher for an older catcher,
and much out of the mold of all you old Met fans of John Stearns. Very athletic behind the plate.
Suzuki now 35 years old, splitting time with Yan Gomes behind the plate.
Moving like a much younger man.
Rosario, great speed at third. Conforto, good speed at first. 1 out, 6th inning. And Davis lays off. 2-2.
I mean, part of it's got to be that he's locked in, but J.D. Davis just never seems to be anxious at the plate.
It's been a great groove now for better than 2 months. Trying to get the Mets the lead for the first time tonight. 7th pitch of the at bat from Strasburg, and he lays off ball 3.
And the one thing that Strasburg doesn't want is to lose Davis. And you've got Ramos in the on-deck circle, who's been swinging a hot bat and has been clutch all year.
He's saving grace for Strasburg if he does walk Davis, as he got the double play candidate in Ramos.
Yeah, but he's got his work cut out for him as well. I agree, but Ramos has been so clutch with this year.
Well, Davis has worked his way back from 0-2 to 3-2. And he takes. Did he swing? He did not.
No, he's saying he did.
He did.
Oh.
I don't know about that.
I thought it was a good strike. It should have been called.
Yes,
but
I did too.
not think he swung.
It did look like a call third strike, but that's not what Mark Carlson called. He asked for help from Trip Gibson, who punched him out.
Wow. He did not swing. Let's see if it had the corner, Ronnie. No, it missed.
And he definitely didn't swing.
Oh, wow. That is a brutal call.
Conforto was running on the pitch. He steals second. And Davis just unbelieving.
Trip.
So Conforto was running on the pitch. That takes the double play out of order. Or actually, it's the second out. And Ramos takes low for ball 1. So 2nd and 3rd and 2 out. Ramos is grounded out and walked. Came into the night hitting .337 with runners in scoring position.
Well, last time in this situation, well, not really the same situation. After the 2 home runs, he walked Ramos to pitch to Frazier.
And Ramos bounces one on the left side. Rendon has time. Low throw, and Adams able to stay on the bag, and that retires the side.
Oh, we got
and
some.
So definitely take a look at this to make sure that Adams was on first base. But the call from Trip Gibson was that he was.
He was. He had a throw at home plate from Frazier in the dirt, and now Rendon, a little Archie Bell in the drills.
Still 3-3. Well, a little surprising to see Marcus Stroman still on the mound as we go to the 7th inning. Trey Turner leads off for Washington. And swings over the first pitch, slider, 0-1. What about you guys?
One of the reasons the Mets have been on this roll is because they're pushing their starters, but I was very surprised that Stroman's out there.
I mean, he had to do so much work the last 2 innings to get out of trouble. But he gets ahead on Turner, 0-2. 5th inning, a 2-out walk, a base hit by Eaton, and he had a really tough at bat and struck out Rendon. Then he got into huge trouble in the 6th and was able to find his way clear in that inning as well. 0-2 coming to Turner, and he lays off that one. 1-2.
No, Turner fell behind in the count last at bat as well and worked a walk. Really fine at bat.
Justin Wilson still up in the bullpen. Left-hand hitter Eaton on deck. And again, Turner lays off the slider, and it's 2-2.
It's interesting. The good hitters, they won't lay off that pitch, and then they get the 2 strikes, and they're much more careful.
2-2 coming, and he misses high, and it's a full count to Turner.
He doesn't want to lose Turner.
And you can't just groove it to Turner. He is wiry strong.
10 home runs this year. 3-2 from Stroman to Turner, and he walked him. So Stroman left in to start the 7th inning, issues a leadoff walk to the base-stealing Trey Turner, and here comes Mickey Callaway, and now they'll bring the left-hander Wilson into the game. So Mickey tried to roll Stroman through the first batter of the inning. That did not work out, and Marcus issues his 3rd walk, and his first night on the mound at Citi Field has come to an end. Call to the bullpen brought to you by RPM Raceway. We'll be right back to Citi Field. Justin Wilson in to face Adam Eaton with the tie-breaking run at first, and he gets a high strike call, 0-1. Wilson's had trouble with first batters this year, and this is a huge first batter.
See who he has to face: Eaton, Rendon, and Soto. That's what you were talking about, Gary. Inherited runners stranded 3 of 5. It's usually started innings this year.
Oh, and he came up and in to Eaton, who looked overmatched 0-2. Now Eaton's got 5 hits and 8 career at bats against Wilson, but did not look good on that last pitch.
No one can hit this pitch, Garrett. It's up in your eyes, and it's inside bad. That's just swinging at a bad pitch.
Eaton had base hits to right field his last 2 at bats against Stroman, who leaves after 6 innings plus. Stroman allowed 9 hits, 3 runs so far, 3 walks, 1 intentional, a season high 9 strikeouts, 1 home run. Seth Lugo getting ready for Rendon on deck. 0-2 to Eaton, and he fouls it away. Justin Wilson last worked on Wednesday. Gave up a base hit to the first man to face him, Martin Prado, then struck out John Birdie. Those were the only 2 batters he faced. Turner has 1 stolen base tonight, 24 for the year. And he strikes out Eaton. So Justin Wilson brought in to try and get the left-hand hitter out, does just that. And that's the first down in the top of the 7th.
No, he just overmatched Eaton. A day late and a nickel short on that swing.
Yeah, he never did go to that cutter, just the hard 4-seamer up.
So you got Rendon at the plate, Lugo up in the bullpen, but it appears Wilson's staying in to face him. Because of numbers.
And because of Soto also. On the on-deck circle.
This is what happens when you have a good balanced lineup. Don't forget, after Soto you got Adams too, another lefty.
Rendon drove in the first run of this game with a triple to right center in the 4th. Struck out his other 2 at bats against Stroman, including 1 with 2 men on to end the 5th. Turner at first and 1 out, and Wilson checks in.
The bench for the Nationals is got a veteran bench. Newly acquired is Drupal Cabrera, switch hitter. Yan Gomes from the right side. Stevenson and Gerardo Parra from the left side. It's a good bench.
Parra has been a huge difference maker for the Nats this year. You can trace their surge to when they picked him up after the Giants let him go in May. Rendon gets one in the air to deep left field, headed toward the wall. That ball is out of here. A 2-run homer for Anthony Rendon. His 25th home run of the year, and the Nats go back in front 5-3 in the 7th.
Boy, oh boy. This is a Met killer.
Rendon's 4th home run against the Mets this season, 21st of his career.
That gets him, Gary, right at 90 RBI on the season, and he's making a statement for an MVP. He'll be in the conversation.
Boy, we got really a unique view on that home run. Off the bat, I thought it was an F7. It just never came out of the air.
It was Juan Soto. Soto is homered and doubled tonight. 2 for 3. Not happy with that last call by Mark Carlson. Well, Marcus Stroman's final line, 4 runs on 9 hits. He's now pitcher of record on the short side. After the leadoff walk to Turner, he came around to score the lead run. And slider in for a strike to Soto, and it's 0-2.
So this time Wilson retires the first hitter he faced, but gets hurt by the second hitter.
Well, again, Lugo was up in the bullpen, but Mickey Callaway opted to go with Wilson, who had great numbers against Rendon, but Rendon turned that around. Below the knees, 1-2. It's only the second run allowed by Justin Wilson in 16 outings since he got back from the injured list. He's been that good.
So go figure. Wilson has awful numbers against Adam Eaton. He gets him out. He's got good numbers against Rendon, and Rendon hits a 2-run homer.
And now Lugo has sat down with the Mets down by 2 runs, and it's Gesellman getting back up.
Wilson has been doing a good job getting both lefties and righties out all since he's returned. Just didn't happen. That at bat with Rendon. He has been solid.
The third home run Wilson's allowed this season. Now the 2-2 and the breaking ball bounced slowly. Alonso going to have to
hurry, and he missed the tag.
And safe at first is Soto. An infield hit for Juan Soto. That ball just didn't get to Alonso fast enough, and Soto able to beat it.
Just missed.
And are the Mets challenging this call?
I think they
are. Alonso nodding his head and saying, "I got him."
You know, the one view looked like he might have got him on the hip.
And the umpires are huddling first before initiating a crew chief review.
Are they asking if he got out of the baseline? Because he certainly did not.
No.
No, they're going to check on it.
Yeah.
We had one shot.
I mean, he might have gotten him right on the edge of the pocket there.
But I mean, to change the call.
Oh, see, that one looked like he did. Looked like the tip of the glove changed direction.
Yeah, like a bend.
Yeah.
This one, not so much.
Harder to tell from this one. But you can see how the glove flipped a little bit.
Yeah.
Now that just could have been Pete moving his hand.
Yeah, flipping the glove out.
He felt as though he got him. He nodded to the dugout to tell them that they should initiate a challenge process.
Pete's got, "I got you." He said, "No, you didn't." "Yeah, I did."
Paul Emmel and Mike Winters are the crew chiefs in the replay center in Chelsea.
Oh no.
I mean, the strings of the glove don't count, but that little piece of glove at the top there, that does count.
I do know one thing. Whatever decision we'll make, it'll go the other way.
Well, I'm not making a decision. I'll leave it to Paul Emmel and Mike Winters.
There you go.
Trip Gibson made the call. He's on the headset, and they
inconclusive.
Uphold the call. So Soto has an infield hit, his third hit of the night, a home run, a double, and now a single.
That's kind of tough to overrule that.
Now Matt Adams, who's already 2 for 3 today. Goes out to the cutter, 0-1. Adams just 1 for 8 in his career against Wilson, but that one was a home run. Nats have regained the lead here in the 7th on an Anthony Rendon 2-run homer. And Adams gets jammed and fouls it off. 0-2. We're on Pix 11 tomorrow night. Our next SNY telecast Sunday afternoon. The final game of this series with Jacob deGrom on the mound. Coverage begins at 12:30 Sunday right here on SNY.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Gary.
You're going to bring the wrong shirt.
I would have brought the wrong shirt.
Always try and keep you informed, Keith.
Ooh.
Put it in the car when you get home tonight, Keith.
I will. Don't you worry, Ron.
1-2 coming. And that one's knocked down by Ramos. Taken off for second is Soto. The throw is too late. Now the short wild pitch, Soto aggressively gets to second base. dirt ball read by Soto. And that puts a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Soto's base running probably cost the Nats a run in the 6th inning. Taking a base there. Now he's trying to steal third and no throw. Wow. So Soto adds his 10th stolen base of the year, and that gets a runner to third with 1 out.
Well, just Mets fell asleep there.
Well, the Mets are just going to have to realize they are going to apply the pressure. Nothing, any base cannot be taken advantage of.
Infield in, and Wilson strikes out Adams. There's a big strikeout for Wilson to get the 2nd out. So now a chance to get through the inning without any further damage if he can get through Kurt Suzuki. It's been a star-crossed inning for Wilson. He came in to strike out Eaton, who had great numbers against him. Gave up the home run to Rendon that gave the Nats the lead. Infield hit, wild pitch, stolen base, but then with the infield in, he strikes out Adams, and now it's Suzuki who's gone 0 for 3 tonight. And the cutter runs inside, ball 1. Suzuki struck out in the 2nd, grounded into a double play in the 4th, and then in the 6th, with runners at 1st and 3rd and nobody out, he had a ground ball down to Frazier. Frazier bounced his throw home, but the Mets eventually tagged out Soto on a rundown. And Stroman was eventually able to find his way through that 6th inning and kept the game tied, but the Nats have untied it here in the 7th. Washington 5 runs, 11 hits. The Mets 3 runs, only 4 hits. The Nats now have 13 stolen bases against the Mets this year. This is the 14th game between the two teams. Suzuki overpowered on that fastball, 1-2. 1-2 from Wilson. Ground ball. Rosario's got the easy hop. That retires the side. But Anthony Rendon's 2-1 homer puts Washington back in front. Stretch time, 5-3 Washington. SNY reveals what really happened during Todd Frazier's infamous ball switch incident as the participants finally come clean on the latest episode of The Amazing Life presented by Coca-Cola. Check it out at sny.tv/Coca-Cola.
Well, let's see if the Mets can answer again. It's the bottom 3rd of the order for Strasburg.
Second time Steven Strasburg has had a multiple run lead. He gets the first pitch curveball into Frazier, 0-1.
Still can't get over that horrendous strike 3 call on J.D. Davis. That was crucial.
Frazier has struck out and popped up tonight, 0 for 2. And he bounces one slowly, and Turner comes in to get it. 1 out. Wild card standings coming into the night. Washington 2 games in front of Milwaukee. The Brewers a half game in front of the Mets, Cardinals, and Phillies. Cardinals are down 2-1 to the Pirates tonight. Phillies, who got blanked by Madison Bumgarner last night, are in San Francisco again tonight. And the Mets with by far the toughest schedule of any of those contenders over the next 5 weeks, including this one. 10 of the next 11 series for the Mets are against teams with winning records. Joe Panik 0 for 2 in his Mets debut. He's flied to left and struck out. Luis Guillorme out on deck to pinch hit with the pitcher spot due up next. And 2-seamer misses away, and it's 2-0. Danny Echeverria was DFA'd to make room for Joe Panik. Guillorme stayed, even though he had options and Echeverria did not, because the Mets wanted the left-handed bat. Paddock takes one the other way. Toward the line goes Soto and reels it in for the second out. So after getting the lead again, Strasburg has retired the first two. And now Luis Guillorme to pinch hit. Guillorme had a bat off the bench in the game on Wednesday and popped up. Strasburg quickly ahead of him 0-2.
You know, there was a time in Strasburg's career early before his Tommy John that I don't know if he recovered from an inning where he gave up 3 runs and 2 home runs. He's a finished product now.
Got out of a big jam in the 6th when the Mets had first and third and nobody out. Bounces the changeup 1-2. Daniel Hudson, one of the newcomers to the Nationals bullpen, is up and throwing behind Strasburg. That's brought in 3 relievers at the deadline. One of them, Roenis Elias, is hurt. And Guillorme flicks one to the right side. Adams flips to Strasburg, side retired. 1-2-3 inning for Strasburg after getting the lead back. 5-3 as we go to the 8th. We go to the 8th inning. Nationals 5, Mets 3. Robert Gazelman will come on to pitch for the Mets in the top of the 8th. As the Mets inch closer to a wild card spot, Doug Williams and Andy Martino break down how much of this success is based on the recent week's schedule and how much is truly sustainable. On the latest Shea Anything podcast, search Shea Anything and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. Lower third of the order, Brian Dozier leads off, grounds the first pitch to Rosario, who comes in to get it, and a running toss on target. 1 pitch and 1 out for Gazelman in the 8th. Robert last pitched on Tuesday night, worked the 9th inning in a 5-0 Mets shutout, and he'll take on Victor Robles, who had an infield hit in the 3rd, 1 for 2 and an intentional walk tonight. So is Strasburg going to get the 8th? Apparently not. Andrew Stevenson is coming out on deck to bat for him. Strasburg had just 97 pitches and just had himself a really nice inning. And it's a tough call for Davey Martinez, who all year long has had to deal with one of the worst bullpens in baseball. Of late, they've gotten a little bit better, but it looks as though he's going to ask them to get the last 6 outs.
It doesn't want him to go the 4th time through the order.
To Robles, and the breaking ball, another chance for Rosario, and the quick toss gets him. 2 up, 2 set aside on ground balls to short. Well, we have spent the evening watching this game from a very unusual perspective, low and from left field from the M&M suite seats. It's been a little different experience out here, but we've had a good perspective on the outfielders right in front of them.
They're right here, like sitting in our laps, and it's been very fun to watch the different shifts, particularly Washington, which has really had extreme, I wouldn't even call them shadings. I mean, they've really overloaded to one side or the other.
Well, it's funny when J.D. Davis is out here, we see him right in front of us the whole time, but many times Soto's been almost out of our vision because he's so far to our left trying to shade the left center field gap.
Andrew Stevenson, the pinch hitter, takes the curveball down, a ball and a strike. Slash foul, 1-2. Well, looks like Daniel Hudson is coming on for the Nats. That's all at the top of the batting order coming up. McNeil, Rosario, and Conforto. Anybody gets on, Alonso. So Strasburg went 7, allowed 3 runs and 4 hits. Walked 2, struck out 6, allowed 2 home runs. There's Dribble Cabrera. And the Mets apparently called when he became a free agent, and Cabrera, in his own words, says, well, they didn't bring me back, so I decided to go to Washington instead.
Okay.
3-2, and Stevenson fouls it away. As Dribble said, he would have loved to have returned to the Mets last year, last offseason. Mets opted for Jed Lowry instead. Three-two coming, and he swings and misses on a pitch in the dirt, and Stevenson is out on strikes to end the top of the 8th. Mets come to bat in the bottom of the 8th, down by 2. The Unisphere from the '64 World's Fair gleaming in the evening glow. 5-3 Nats as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Tonight's starters brought to you by People's United Bank. Each had 1 bad inning. Stroman left in to start the 7th, issued a leadoff walk, and that's got him on the hook now. Strasburg done after 7, and the Nats will go to their somewhat iffy bullpen, which has gotten better lately with the addition of Daniel Hudson.
Well, he's been all over the globe with the Dodgers last year, signed a minor league contract with the Angels, released, went to Toronto, was there until traded over to the Washington Nationals.
Top of the order for the Mets.
Jeff McNeil leads off and takes the fastball high from Hudson. Hudson making his 5th appearance for the Nats. He's allowed just 1 hit in 3 innings in his first 4 outings. The Nationals bullpen against the Mets this season in the first 13 meetings, a 9.57 ERA, 10 home runs in 36 2/3 innings. And the Mets would like some more of that. And McNeil takes a strike, and it's 1-1. For most of the year, the Nats have had the worst bullpen in the majors. It's gotten somewhat better even with that 6 ERA. They've thrown a lot of bodies at it. They brought in Fernando Rodney. They brought in Daniel Hudson. They brought in Hunter Strickland. McNeil slashes 1 foul, and it's 1-2.
Their relievers, though, in the last 9 games, ERA is under 3. If you exclude, they had to have some position players pitch a couple times.
Well, Hudson coming right after McNeil here with Cheddar.
Rosario on deck, and then Conforto for the Mets in the 8th. Mets have come from behind once already tonight, trying to do it again in the late innings. And McNeil takes strike 3 call. Hudson catches the inside corner with a changeup, and he strikes out McNeil to start the bottom of the 8th.
Did it get the inside corner? Oh yeah, inner half.
So 1 out and nobody on. Now Rosario, who had a base hit up the middle his last time up. Mets got the first 2 men out of the 6th, that 1st and 3rd and nobody out, but Strasburg was able to get out of it. And Rosario fouls off the high fastball.
97 from Hudson.
He's rushing it up there pretty good. He's throwing hard.
Hudson's average fastball velocity this year is higher than it's been at any point in his career. This is a 2-time Tommy John survivor. One of the focal points of Jeff Passan's wonderful book about pitchers.
The arm.
Hudson now 32 years old, out of Old Dominion University. Same school that produced Justin Verlander.
Well, that's what Strasburg is trying to do tonight. He's trying to join Domingo Germán and Justin Verlander, both 15-game winners.
Hudson came from Toronto at the trading deadline. One-two to Rosario. Fights that one off. Toronto may not be going anywhere in the standings, but they've got some of the most exciting things going on with their young players. Bo Bichette, first player in Major League history to double in 9 straight games. Not the first rookie, the first player. And did that in his first 13 games in the major leagues. How about that? 1-2 to Rosario, and he
Lices one in the left field for a base hit. Chased toward the line by Soto. Rosario will get 2 bases out of this.
Soto's been playing over in the right center field gap all night against Rosario, and this time it pays off for Ahmed with a 1-out double.
That looked like maybe a breaking ball, Keith.
It was a breaking ball, and it was a hanger, and right down the old pipe. Rosario staying right in there. And the Mets now have their 2 big power hitters coming up back to back with one swing, can get back in this game, tie it up.
Conforto had a base hit to left center his last time up, 1 for 3 on the night. 7 home runs in his previous 11 games. And Michael gets jammed and rolls one down to first. Adams makes the play to Hudson for the 2nd out, and Rosario moves over to third. Now there are 2 away, and Pete Alonso coming up.
There's the home run off of Strasburg. 2-run shot that got the Mets on the board. Number 38 on a changeup, down and away.
He's going to see mostly high gas from Hudson.
Rosario at third with 2 down. Alonso last time up came up with first and third and nobody out, got jammed into a soft liner to second. And Pete takes up and in for ball 1. Biggest game of his young career. He's already responded once.
They're going to pound him in.
Ooh, takes a strike, and it's 1-1.
Oh, the
people are standing all over the ballpark.
You just took the words out of my mouth. I just noticed everybody's up on their feet.
This is the moment. Alonso the tying run at the plate in the 8th inning. And Pete fouls it away. 1-2.
Well, that one was not in, but got away. Pete had a good cut.
If you're Hudson, you want to raise the bar a little. Up out of the strike zone.
One-two to Alonso. He fouls back that high fastball. J.D. Davis would be next. Alonso and Davis went back-to-back in the 4th inning to get the Mets even. Rendon's home run in the 7th put the Nats back in front. 1-2 from Hudson. Alonso fouls back another one. All high fastballs from Daniel Hudson. At some point, does he try and make him chase a slider?
I would throw one, Gary, make sure it's a ball, just to change the speed, the eye level, everything. Seen Pete occasionally catch up with that high heater.
Coming back in.
And he bounces one on the left side. Easy play for Turner, and that retires the side. Hudson gets around the Rosario double and sends us off to the ninth. 5-3 Nets. Trey Turner leads off the ninth inning, takes curveball for a strike from Robert Gazelman. Turner's been on base 3 times tonight. Infield hit 2 walks. He's stolen a base. He scored a run. Walked leading off the 7th against Stroman and scored in front of Rendon's go-ahead home run. Gazelman starting his 2nd inning of relief, worked a 1-2-3/8. Luis Avilan getting ready in the Mets bullpen with the left-hand batter Eaton on deck. And Turner takes a strike 1 and 2. Marcus Stroman went 6 innings plus, allowed 4 runs and 9 hits. Justin Wilson gave up the Rendon home run. 1 run, 2 hits in an inning of work. And the slider well off the plate. 2-2 to Turner, who has had a succession of at bats where he's fallen behind early and gotten himself back in the count. Eaton and then Rendon as the Nats look for insurance in the ninth before handing it to Sean Doolittle. And the sinker misses. And again, Turner has come from behind in the count to get it full.
He's a little pesky little guy, isn't he?
Fouls away that high fastball.
Mad at himself. Swung at ball 4. Going to be lit off the inning. Getting on base.
Turner slashes that one foul, stay in the at bat. Turner just 3 for 15 against Gazelman. Eighth pitch of the at bat coming to Turner. Hits this one down the right field line. McNeil over for a look, and it lands in the corner. A foul ball. Came pretty close to staying fair.
Yeah, not by much.
Sean Doolittle's getting ready in the bullpen for the Nats. The Mets have had a lot of success against Doolittle this year, but Gazelman's got to put a capper on this lead right where it is to give the Mets a chance against the hard-throwing lefty. This is pitch number 9 coming to Turner, and he lines this one to right field, and that's down for a base hit. So Turner's on base for the 4th time tonight, a single leading off the ninth. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by New York 811. Be sure you call 811 before you start any digging project, big or small. Make the 811 call. By your Tri-State Audi dealers, take a test drive today. And by Aetna Better Health of New Jersey, providing health care statewide for qualified NJ family care members. For more information, visit aetnabetterhealth.com/NJ. Big night for Turner, on base 4 times, and Gazelman's going to have to keep an eye on him. He's already stolen 1 base tonight.
Track meet starts soon.
Eaton is 2 for 4 tonight. Struck out his last at bat against Justin Wilson. He's 0 for 4 in his career against Gazelman. Closer play. Turner back. Takes fastball for a strike. Since the 27th of April, the Minnesota Twins have led the American League Central by themselves every day. That could change tonight. Indians beat the Twins last night. They're up 6-1 on Minnesota in the 6th inning tonight. If the Indians win, there'll be a flat-footed tie for the lead in that division that the Twins at one point led by 11.5 games.
They led by 11.5 on June 4th, but the Mets saw some flaws when they were there in Minnesota as they swept 2 games.
Mets beat the Twins 3 out of 4 this year. Their pitching's really kicking in gear. Clevenger last night, Shane Bieber tonight, and Corey Kluber on the way. Eaton bunting gets it down. Tough play. Frazier can't pick it up, and everybody's safe. Eaton bunts for a hit, and the Nats have the first 2 men on in the top of the 9th.
Beautiful bunt by Eaton. Just deadened it beautifully right down the line. I don't think Buddy Harrelson could have done it better.
I don't think Todd would have had a chance in the world to throw him out, even if he picks that ball up cleanly. So now Rendon bats with 2 on and a chance to really put the hammer down. Turner at second, Eaton at first, nobody out. Rendon's already driven in 3 runs tonight with a triple and a go-ahead 2-run homer in the 7th. And he lays off the slider, and it's off the plate, ball 1. Rendon 9 hits in 16 career at bats against Robert Gsellman. That's a .563 batting average. 3 RBIs tonight give Rendon 90 for the year.
And 12 against the Mets.
And Rendon pops one up. Over toward the line comes McNeil and catches it in fair territory. Turner tags, heads for third. The throw by McNeil closer than you would think, but Turner gets to third with 1 out.
Good base running by Turner, challenging the arm, not that deep in right field. It wasn't able to get in a position to really get something on the throw. It's still a strong throw, but off target.
So first and third and 1 out. You got the left-hand batting Soto coming up. Luis Avilan has been throwing in the bullpen, and Mickey Callaway will bring his lefty into the game. Nats trying to tack on in the 9th, leading 5-3. Avilan coming in. We'll be right back to Citi Field. When we have concluded festivities here, WB Mason post-game live will be next. Gary Apple and Todd Zeal will have all the interviews, the highlights, the analysis. Luis Avilan on to pitch. First and third and 1 out to face Juan Soto, who has a single, a double, and a home run tonight.
Well, back in that 2-run 7th, they got Wilson got Matt Adams on a strikeout with a runner on third, but Soto much more difficult strikeout.
And a first pitch curveball in for a strike, 0-1.
There's the home run, cutter that just didn't get in enough and down into his Soto's power zone. That was number 22 for the youngster.
They made it 3-0 Nats. Mets tied it in the bottom of that 4th inning, and the Nats regained the lead on Rendon's 2-run homer in the 7th. And Avilan comes inside with a fastball, 1-1. Avilan got the final 3 outs on Wednesday in the Mets' 5-0 win over the Marlins. Fernando Rodney up alongside Sean Doolittle in the Nats bullpen. Probably Rodney if they break the game open. Doolittle if it's still a save situation. Turner at third, Eaton at first with 1 out, and Soto flies 1 foul, and it's 1-2. Matt Adams waiting on deck. One, 2, and misses with a changeup. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mets are playing their middle infielders in which is odd because Soto's not a burner. You'd figure he's a guy who can double up. Braves had a 6-0 lead. That's now 6-4. The Brewers and Cardinals, two teams the Mets are battling with the wild card, both in tight games. 2-2.
And he foul tipped it for strike 3. Got him with a changeup. There's a huge strikeout for Avilan for the second out.
Boy, twice now the Nationals have left runners on third base, less than 2 outs. Actually make that 3 times.
So now Mets with a chance to get through this inning without any further scoring. And Matt Adams the batter. Adams 2 for 4 tonight. Adams 0 for 4 in his career against Avilan. And a fastball strike. 0-1. SNY Super Slow Motion is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. To Adams, and the curveball. Did he swing? He did not. Third base umpire Ryan Blakeney gives him a pass. 1-1. And stealing second on the pitch was at Eaton, his 11th steal, and the Nats' 3rd stolen base of the night.
Boy, I tell you what, base hit here.
So now 2 in scoring position for Adams. Just when you thought neither New York baseball team was ever going to lose again.
Yeah.
The Yankees lost tonight in Toronto 8-2. It's because they only hit 2 home runs after hitting 19 their previous 4 games, which no team had ever done before. So their 9-game winning streak comes to an end. Big question is, did Bichette get another double?
Yeah. 10 straight.
No double for Bichette tonight. 1-1, and that curveball in for a strike. Avilan throwing more curveballs than we're accustomed to seeing him. And he's ahead 1-2 now on Adams. In the bottom of the ninth, the Mets will have Davis, Ramos, and Frazier due up. Now the 1-2. Change up low and in. 2-2.
A lot of stepping off. A little bit of indecision by Avilan.
Coming up later tonight, Geico Sports Night, all the baseball and football news. Geico Sports Night tonight and every night after the post game here on SNY. 2-2 to Adams. And the curveball bounces away. Here comes Turner trying to score, and he is in.
Great base running by Trey Turner. Took off as soon as that ball hit the ground, and he scores on the very short wild pitch to make it 6-3.
Well, this is just good hustle. Left your screen. I mean, Ramos got in front. That ball wasn't that far away from him. He kind of looked over his shoulder at Turner.
But he beat the pitcher to the plate. If you don't cover.
Now Eaton at third. 3-2 the count to Adams. And the foul tip for strike 3. The inning is over, but Turner scoring on the short wild pitch to increase the Nationals lead. 6-3 going to the bottom of the ninth. Your Coors Light refreshing finish. Sean Doolittle's been battered around by the Mets, but he's had a really good year otherwise. And he'll take a 6-3 lead into the bottom of the ninth.
Well, you see his numbers this year, but more importantly, his numbers against the Mets. And in those 5 1/3 innings pitched, not only the 6 earned runs, but 10 hits.
Well, you know what you're going to get from Doolittle. Throws his fastball 93% of the time.
Straight over the top.
Interesting defensive setup here with the left-hander in, playing Davis. Soto more to pull and more straight up in center field.
Davis homered back in the 4th inning, 1 for 3 on the night. And JD takes the fastball for a strike. Davis, Ramos, and Frazier. Doolittle trying to save it for Steven Strasburg, who's in line for his 15th win of the year. Strasburg went 7, allowed 3 runs, 4 hits. Daniel Hudson worked around a double by Rosario to pitch a scoreless 8th. And now Doolittle bidding for his 26th save. Well, we started tonight by talking about the size of this game, especially for the Mets' younger players, including J.D. Davis.
It was important for both teams. Washington coming in off a sweep in San Francisco, coming all the way across the coast, a day off, to come in and try to set the tone. Both teams trying to set the tone.
That's down the line, a fair ball, and that'll go toward the corner, and Davis will have himself a double. So J.D. Davis gets the Mets started in the 9th against Sean Doolittle. Hit one right over the bag for his 2nd extra base hit of the night.
Well, he just continues to put this terrific season together and gets the Mets started here.
Well, the Mets need one more base runner to get the tying run to the plate. How huge does that extra run that Trey Turner just stole look now?
Well, you and I were talking between innings. Trey Turner always seems to be the best athlete on the field when the Nationals play the Mets.
Wilson Ramos 0 for 2 and a walk tonight. Frazier behind him. And Wilson goes after a high fastball, 0-1. Ramos has hit Doolittle well, 3 hits and 4 career at bats. Davis at 2nd and nobody out.
And Ramos lines one into center field for a base hit. Davis to 3rd. He's going to stop right there as Robles fires in. A sliding stop by Adams on the cutoff. And now the Mets will get the tying run to the plate. Back-to-back base hits for Davis and Ramos against Sean Doolittle. And Todd Frazier coming up.
High fastball, bell tie, inner half. Ramos got it covered. Sean, he's just late getting there. Adams.
And now that's 12 hits given up by Doolittle in 5 1/3 innings pitched.
And you know he knows it.
Yeah.
And he's got to be thinking about it.
And you got Frazier, 300 hitter against left-handers.
Frazier 2 for 4 with a home run against Doolittle. Tying run at the plate. And Todd takes up and in for ball 1. Frazier 0 for 3 tonight. And Frazier takes a rip. A ball and a strike. Well, here's how the Nats got their 6th run.
Well, this ball just barely. Ramos kind of looks, and Avalon didn't cover home plate. This is just a guy on his toes. And this is a Washington National team, Gary, that you mentioned in the break, that has the speed and they utilize it.
A tie to Frazier, 2-1. Well, you got Joe Panik in the on-deck circle. First game as a Met. Might have a chance to bat in an enormous situation in a moment. 2-1 to Frazier. And Todd cranks one deep left field down the line. That ball is out of here. Out of here. Todd Frazier ties the game.
It's been a night for the New York, New Jersey contingent, and Todd Frazier with the Mets' biggest hit of the season thus far, a game-tying 3-run homer, and it's 6-6 in the ninth. Frazier brings the house down.
Boy, oh boy, you know what you're going to get off Doolittle? Right down the pipe, belt high. And Todd, after swinging and missing at the first strike, crushed this one.
The Mets have not won a game all season in which they trailed after 8 innings. Now Joe Panik with nobody out. A chance to keep it going against Doolittle, who's been knocked back on his heels again by the Mets. His 5th blown save of the year. Panik is 0 for 3 in his Mets debut. And Joe fouls one away, a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, these are momentum games, momentum moments.
Juan Lagares on deck to pinch hit with the pitcher's spot due up next. 1-2 to Panik. And he fouls away the breaking ball.
All of a sudden, Doolittle's discovered his slider. He's I better mix it up. Well, Pete.
Twice in this game, the Mets have come from 3 runs down.
They did it against Strasburg. Now they've done it against Doolittle. And Panik hits a ground ball.
Up the middle, base hit. And the Mets with 4 straight hits against Doolittle. Joe Panik with his first base hit as a New York Met. And the Mets have the potential winning run aboard with nobody out.
Just out of the reach of Dozier.
Well, now Lagares, and you have to think he'll be asked to bunt.
Yes, no question.
Although Lagares hit the ball hard against Doolittle earlier this year.
He's bunting.
Bunt towards Adams.
Lagares has 3 for 5 against Doolittle, and he gives away the fact that he was going to be bunting as Doolittle threw to first.
He bunted towards Adams. Left-hander falls towards third base. Adams doesn't want to throw the ball to second.
You see that last graphic?
9 runs the Mets have scored against Doolittle. 9 he's given up against the rest of baseball as Lagares fouls back the bunt attempt. For some reason, the Mets have had the number of the Nationals closer, and now a chance perhaps to not only give him a blown save but a loss as well.
Boy, what a victory this would be for the Metropolitans.
Execute.
McNeil on deck, Rosario behind him. And Lagares bunts it.
It's down. The throw to second by Rendon, and they get the force. Panik had to hold up to make sure that ball would fall, and that gave Rendon enough time to get the lead man. 5-6 for the first out.
And Rendon took charge here. You don't want the pitcher here. His back's to the play. Rendon has a little bit of peripheral vision, and you want the athlete out there making the play. And that is just a fine play, getting the lead runner.
It's a tough call for Panik. He stopped about halfway between first and second.
Absolutely.
Well, it's not his fault because you got to get that ball on the ground. And more importantly, like I said before, the bunt had to go to Adams. Trainer's out there.
Trainer is out to look at Doolittle. They've got Fernando Rodney up in the bullpen. Jeff McNeil's going to be the batter with a potential winning run at first base in Lagares. And whatever it was that was concerning the Nats, Doolittle is staying in. 4 straight hits before that bunt into a force play. Dom Smith joining the cheers, and then Todd Frazier made it pay off. Tying home run.
Almost hit it off the glass.
So now McNeil.
Jeff is 0 for 3 and a walk. 0 for 2 against Doolittle. Lagares has 3 stolen bases in 4 tries this year. Of course, if you steal a base here, then they'll probably walk McNeil. Doesn't matter if it's a lefty or a righty up.
So Rosario's hot.
And McNeil pops one up behind home plate, and that'll sail on the play. 0-1. Rosario on deck. This game has been everything that this huge crowd could have asked for. Mets twice have fallen behind by 3 runs. Alonso and Davis homering to get them even in the 4th. Frazier with a 3-run homer to get them even in the 9th. And McNeil skies one along the right field line. Racing over is Eaton. And he gets there to two-handed for the 2nd out. So 2 away. Lagares still at first. And it's left to Ahmed Rosario. Rosario 2 for 4 tonight. He singled in the 6th, doubled in the 8th. And now bats in the 9th. With Lagares at first and 2 out. Rosario 0 for 3 against Sean Doolittle, who's trying to settle back in after getting knocked sideways.
Well, Doolittle doing a very good job of checking Lagares at first. The fans are booing, but it's got to be done.
Rosario takes one wide for ball 1. If Rosario can keep the inning going, Michael Conforto would be next. And Rosario fouls one back.
He had a rip.
One and 1 to Ahmed. And another check in on Lagares, who was having no trouble getting back to the bag. Three for 4 this year.
And Rosario pulls one through the hole, a base hit. Lagares to second. He'll stop there as Soto charges it. So Rosario with his 3rd consecutive hit. And now the potential winning run is at second. 2 down, and Michael Conforto coming up.
Throw him a changeup here. Doolittle's just basically a one-pitch pitcher.
Keith, in 6 innings so far against the Mets this year, Doolittle's given up 15 hits. 15.
So now Conforto, who's never had a hit against Doolittle, 0 for 5.
Oh, he's overdue.
Mets have 5 hits in this inning, 5 hits in 7 at bats, including the Frazier home run that tied it. Now a base hit could win it for New York. Lagares with speed at second, Rosario with speed at first. And Conforto takes up and in, ball 1. And if Conforto were to get on, Pete Alonso looms on deck.
Soto in left field has shortened up about 15 feet. Very shallow. Conforto a lot of power to left.
And Michael takes upstairs 2-0.
Oh.
Well, you have to think that if he walks Conforto, that they'd bring Rodney in to face Alonso?
Yes.
He's gassed.
Rodney's ready to go. He's probably wondering why he hasn't been in already. 2-0 to Conforto. And Michael flies one foul. 2-1. Conforto 7 home runs in his last 11 games, but it takes a simple single to win this game. Mets have not won a game all year in which they've trailed after 8 innings. 0-44. 2-1 from Doolittle. And Conforto slashes one foul. 2-2. Doolittle up to 25 pitches in this inning. He's already blown the save. Now trying to get it to the 10th. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 to Conforto.
And he drives one deep right field. That goes Eaton. It's over his head, and the Mets win the ball game. Michael Conforto with his first career walk-off hit, and the Mets pull it out in the bottom of the ninth, 7-6.
Stripped in center field.
What an inning. What a game. What a night. What a streak. The Mets have won 14 of 15, and the most unlikely one of all. Conforto with a walk-off hit after Frazier's tying home run, and the Mets overcome the Nats and win it 7-6.
Well, I don't know what happened to Michael's jersey top, but I'll tell you what, this is just a remarkable win for the Mets. And here's the pitch. Wants it away. Oh, it's inside. Michael turns. Oh, he got it. He squared it up.
Thought for a moment that Eaton might have a play on it, but no.
Just hit too hard. A lot of things have changed for the Nationals. A lot of things have changed for the Mets. The bullpen is not one of them.
Sean Doolittle meets his Waterloo. He's given up 19 runs this year, 10 of them, more than half of them, against the Mets. A 4-1 bottom of the ninth. The Mets win for the first time this year when they trail after 8 innings. And Steve Gelbs is there with the shirtless hero.
Gary, Michael tried to put the jersey back on. Wasn't happening. First career walk-off hit. I probably don't have to ask. First shirtless interview as well. What did that one feel like?
Man, hey, that was fun, huh? That was a good time. I couldn't have picked. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Michael, what's going on with this team right now?
Hey, we just believe, man. We're coming out here every day. We're working hard. You know, we do it for you guys. We do it for the fans. We do it for each other. And we want to do something special this year. So you're seeing the true colors come out.
Take us through that at bat in particular. Obviously, you guys have had a lot of success against Doolittle this year. Got to him in that particular inning, but he falls behind 2-0 on you and then works back 2-2. What were you thinking in that spot?
You know, I just wanted to get a fastball down in the zone. He's got a good fastball that rides a little bit, so you know, just get him down, put the barrel on it.
Finally, Michael, you mentioned these fans. What was it like to play in front of these guys in this atmosphere tonight?
It's unbelievable. You guys, it was unbelievable. It was like playoffs, man. That's what we want to do. So keep coming out and supporting us, and let's go Mets.
Michael, go put a shirt on. Thanks. Gary, back to you.
Well, that was something else. What a night. What a game. And what a crowd. I mean, we said it early in the game. This place has not been this loud since the 2015 postseason. Michael Conforto got to play in that postseason, that World Series. This was a postseason crowd, and the Mets lived up to the moment.
I just think the ability to come back from 3 runs down twice, once against Strasburg and once against the closer of the Nationals, is saying something about the resiliency and the belief, as Michael said, in their ball club.
And we talked about this Met team, how the youngsters would respond and react to being in their first pressure situation, first stretch run. In the beginning of the game, it was the youth that got the Mets back in the game. The 2-run home run from Alonso and the home run from Davis. Who did it in the 9th inning? It's the veterans. Ramos with a big hit. Frazier with the 3-run home run to tie, and Conforto to win the ball game.
And Davis and Rosario, the young guys, were in the middle of it as well. So a full team effort as the Mets win their 7th straight, 14 of their last 15. It's a train that it's really hard to stop from rolling. Game summary brought to you by Verizon Fios. Frazier, the game-tying home run. Michael Conforto's first walk-off hit. Mets' first win this year when they trailed after 8. They're now 4 games over 500, and now within a game and a half of the Nats. For every Mets win, the Mets organization is proud to contribute $2,500 to Northwell Health and the Cats Institute for Women's Health. For more information, visit northwell.edu/cats. This win brings the total contribution so far this season to $150,000. So up to the moment, the Mets now even with the Brewers for the second wild card spot, just a game and a half behind the front-running Nationals. A seriously great win for the Mets on the 9th of August as they make it 7 straight wins and 14 of 15, and Michael Conforto gets to feel what this feels like for the first time in his career, his first career walk-off run batted in. Mets win it 7-6. More from delirious Flushing in just a moment.